I was born powerless. I had no place in a world where people could shoot blasts of lightning out of their hands or create battlesuits made out of nanotechnology. But what I did have was an iron will to do whatever means necessary. Enter Demon Cloak. I was experimented on from a company whose name I can't seem to remember. My powers, my skills, I don't know where they came from. I don't even begin to question why the flames off my back resemble the face of a demon. My only goal is to track them down to finally find out who did this to me, and gave me these uncontrollable powers. And with unbreakable determination and this outstandingly powerful body, I will find them, and I will have my answers. Concentration.
All right. Hello and welcome, heroes, to Capes and Crooks. Episode 8? Issue 8? I forget.
Issue 8.
Issue 8.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today. I'm super excited. Our team has done some pretty awesome hero work. Well, okay, that would be kind of acceptable hero work at this point because, people have died because of your decisions. But it could be worse, right? I'm super excited for tonight's episode. Our heroes have reached a milestone of level 5, which means they get a plethora of new found features and powers and all of that jazz. So I'm super excited. Tomorrow is Dungeon Con Online, and I am running Capes and Crooks for some of the attendees there at 10 a.m., as well as there's some open slots for a D&D game I'm running at 3 p.m. We'll have our merch booth and all that stuff there. Please consider swinging by and saying hi and checking out all the other content creators. A lot of good stuff there. I'm super excited. I think with that, we will go ahead and move into it. Does anybody want to tell us where last time on Capes and Crooks? Riveting. All right, I guess that means I will take the lead.
Actually, I was expecting Matt to talk, so...
Yeah, I think everyone was, because he's the only one that ever remembers. So last time...
I'm letting you guys take the turn for this time.
It has been a while since we last got together and played. There was a lot of stuff going on. If you don't know, I am on the Initiative and Intrigue D&D show over at twitch.tv/AlexBomb, AELX. Maybe come and check it out. Brick was a big hit, so that was a lot of fun. So that kind of delayed one of our shows. So last time on Capes and Crooks, our heroes, you guys, were out to catch the Bright Bomber. So has been the theme that's connected all these adventures. You guys were able to gather some valuable intel via some hacking and some good spy work, breaking and entering, all the things that are totally illegal. But somehow you justified that it was okay for you to do. Because isn't that what heroes do? Because if you think about it, they do a lot of illegal stuff. And your guys are no exception. I'm wondering if that's going to catch up to you at some point. Anyways, so you guys, it's for the greater good, right? You're trying to stop a bomber, right? So in your investigation, you not only found these places that had been associated with the Bright Bomber, you went and investigated it and found some pretty good information. Specifically, you found chemicals of diethylmite, which is an explosive. You also stumbled across a young girl, Emilise, that was trapped inside of a large pod that looked identical to the ones at the VANE laboratories you had visited, with the exception that the chemical looked a little bit different. White Dragon doing some impromptu, hack fu with Stella Nova's support, was able to gather a little bit of information. Unfortunately, all the switches and lights pretty much look the same to him, so she can only work with so much. So,
and a toy store guy's uniform.
And they did find that they were able to run a search and find an 86% match for the girl while trying to identify who she is, and the closest find was a woman named Lila Eneran. and who turns out to be an expert physicist who works for a local weapons manufacturer, AP Inc. So our heroes banded together and formulated a strategic plan of assault and decided that probably wasn't the best strategy, so instead took a more innocent approach, leveraging Stella's alter ego to get an interview. Because let's be honest, as an up and coming woman in science herself, she wanted to meet with a potential mentor who could open doors, right, for her. I'm sure that has something to do with it. So this meeting has been set up with this Lila, and it was scheduled for the 1 p.m. at the Blue Tapper on the corner of Starlight Avenue and AP Lane. Now, it is an hour before this meeting is to go down. You guys are hiding out, I guess, somewhere just down the corner in a, I would call it an alley, but it's actually nicer than you would expect. You know, everything's pretty clean, and you guys are just kind of waiting. You guys look in the distance and you can see where the meeting spot is going to be, and you guys are just kind of formulating the strategy before you go in, what you're going to discuss, that sort of stuff, and that's where we open up our show today. It's it's noon. You can see busybody people running around. You see a giant, big stone-looking guy kind of walk doot 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 as he was, leaving little stone imprints as he's walking by. You can see several of the DRT ships in the distance hovering about, and mostly just a bunch of deviants just kind of minding their own business. What are you guys discussing? What is your plan of action?
So yeah, I think we probably are talking on our way over there, just discussing exactly what we're going to be doing. So I think at this point we're still trying to figure out if this truly is the Bright Bomber, right? Mm-hmm. So I think maybe we're coming up with some leading questions and what happens if something goes wrong.
Well, I think it's pretty clear that Demon Cloak and White Dragon are the plan B, per se. We tend to be that role in this particular group.
Yeah.
What was the...
You're gonna be the muscle?
Oh, sorry.
You're all right.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be the muscle, basically.
Essentially, we're staking out, I think, is what the idea was. We're like a little bit off base, but just close enough where we might be able to intervene.
Okay.
What else is around the corner of the avenue and lane?
The what do you mean? Like any businesses of prominence, or like
businesses, other like cafes or
okay,
diners?
So this is actually a pretty upscale area. It's very industrial, so most of the businesses and stuff you see are like other manufacturers or suppliers of widgets, and you do see a VANE building that does talk about advanced ionics, which is usually a type of battery that they use for powering like blasters and stuff. Outside of that, you do see the Blue Tapper. That does appear to be the only kind of more restaurant-y place, because most of it's just industrial businesses with this kind of one little that you can see from here. On your way in, you did spot a few other locations. There is one thing of note that right across from the Blue Tapper, because the Blue Tapper is in between two industrial businesses, its parking and stuff is actually like on the other side of the road, and there's kind of like you would say, I wouldn't say a park, but kind of like a break area for the businesses. So there's lots of, fancy picnic tables, and there's a couple of these hover food carts that kind of just seem to pull in along to make up for the fact there's not a lot of like buildings to do business. So you do see kind of that stuff going around. It is lunchtime. So there's people going over there. You got one little weird looking fella. He's got almost like a crystalline body. It's kind of shimmers like diamonds, shouting, and he's selling some sort of rock dogs or something. It's hard to hear from over here. It's a common delicacy in the area. It's a mix of whatever they can find. It's not everyone's jams, but it's affordable. So, but other than
Capes
that,
and Crooks version of moonshine or something.
yeah, something like that. Kind of like a hot dog, but just you don't know what's in it. Actually,
Sounds like a very
I don't know
good
what's in a
thing to
hot
do.
dog either.
Yeah, I guess so.
Kogels are quality.
Okay. We
Is
are
there
not
any,
sponsored
like-
by Kogels.
Well, this is kind of an abandoned, or not abandoned. There's probably no abandoned buildings
Right.
in this area.
It's
then.
very industrialized. What's that?
If they want us to be.
Yeah, right. We are a big fan of Kogels, and if Kogel wants to sponsor this episode of Capes and Crooks, I would not be opposed to that. It is the most quality
Hey,
of
we're
hot
just
dogs.
saying. We're just saying.
So yes, there's no really abandoned buildings. They're all industrial. It's a very industrialized area. Mostly no residents as far as you can tell. So you've kind of got a plan of attack at this point. Is there anything else you want to do before I send Stella Nova on her way to meet? Did you guys actually come up with some sort of questions in advance, or?
No, we did not.
Because I think that's kind of
No.
what Seth was kind of alluding to. Like, what are some questions we should ask? I'm about to do an interview. And this is your opportunity to figure out information of whether she's actually the Bright Bomber or whether she's just somehow related to the young girl in the tube.
At the
Field
very
of
least, we can all
expertise.
probably sit down in the bar incognito at various other tables and listen in. Yeah, electronically or, well, yeah.
Or we have super hearing. No, none of us have that. Sorry.
Well, two of us might, but
Two of
I
us
mean,
might, yeah.
we've all got our headsets too, right?
Yeah, our little earpieces.
So not
Yeah.
that I would probably conspicuously have mine in, but
Maybe like
I would
tucked away
I'd probably
somewhere.
at least have it with me. Yeah.
It could be
It's like
an
tucking in
attendee at
like
the
a bra
restaurant.
strap real quick or something. It'll be fine.
maybe
No one will know.
I could be a separate customer at the Blue Tapper, who's also doing some home paperwork, or I guess you could call it digital paperwork.
I can absolutely be a customer on the job, taking a quick drink or two before I
Yeah,
have to
getting
do
your
my
note-
part of the job.
Yeah, getting your notes all together for the next story.
Oh, is that what I'm doing?
I thought that's what you were alluding to.
No, I'm just my job, as in like, I'll dull the senses now before I have to think about the pain later. But no, yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna end up doing. I'm probably just gonna end up sitting in the bar with you and just kind of writing down the next story that I'm probably gonna have to. No, next issue of Webman. Spider-Man, but not actually a spider.
There's other insects that makes webs, right?
no.
Is there?
What makes a cobweb? I assume that's just
Dust?
Spider.
dust.
Spiders.
Is it? Do they really?
Yes.
Then why do we call them cobwebs and not spider webs?
Because they're
don't know.
abandoned.
Because
Oh.
they're the remains of a spider web. They're not inhabited anymore.
See, I've never actually checked, so I've been calling them that forever, and they could in fact be spider webs. Anyways, so it sounds like you guys are ready to move on. So,
Do it.
So
Stella, you were okay. So who was with you? Because I think I just got confused. I thought it was Chimera.
I don't think.
Or are you going by
Well-
yourself? Because I thought you said somebody was going to go with you. Not this time, but the last time we were on.
I think we did have one person say they were. I think it was Chimera. That's what we have in the notes. This Chimera was going to come with. And then at the last minute, while I was on the phone, I actually told her that I was coming alone.
Okay, so he's going to be like shapeshifted or something was the plan?
I would say be like just a customer in a close distance,
Okay.
but not to try to be incognito. which I'm going for a bald, beardless Leo DiCaprio.
Oh, that's right. Wait, no, I thought it was Keanu Reeves.
No, I changed it because you gave me so much flack.
Yeah, I like Keanu. All right, so with that, both Chimera and Stella decide that they're both going to approach. Stella, you go ahead and let Chimera enter in the restaurant, the Blue Tapper, ahead of you, so that way you're not any mix of you guys going in together. After about 10 minutes or so, you kind of follow Chimera in. Chimera, you pull up and sit right up at the bar. It's actually a surprisingly nice place. There's kind of like neon lights everywhere. It's very bright. And you notice that all of the taps bounce back and forth between every color of blue you can imagine, kind of like you would expect in like a bunch of LED lights, and they flash and they're thumping to the music and everything. It's a pretty good upbeat place. You don't see like a dance floor or everything. You've got several customers are enjoying a variety of different meals. You see this one really strange meal. It looks like a giant, like the guy just is slitting open a giant slug. Now, you've seen this before. It's become a delicacy. Apparently, after the rise, it started affecting some of whatever was affecting the people also affected some of the wildlife. And these massive, like, I don't want to say earthworm, giant slug, became kind of a delicacy when fried with lots of sea salt. And so you see that one guy slurping up the little slivers of this slug that he's chopping off. You smell steak on one side, a guy eating another burger. So it sells a variety of things.
Slug mignon.
Yeah, right? Slug mignon. That's awesome. And so at that point, a young waitress comes over. She's probably, I don't know, 19 or 20. Her body is made completely of steel or metal. It shimmers and glows. She almost looks like an android, but you can tell by the way she speaks to you that she's not. Because androids have this kind of echoey, kind of robotic sound that comes out of them. And she says, "Well, what can I get for you, dear? Welcome to the Blue Tapper. I'm Jane. I'm going to take care of you."
Hello, Jane. What do you have for appetizers?
Well, right now we've got plenty of stock of delicious, what'd you call it, slug mignon?
I don't remember what he said.
I don't remember. But we got some of that, and of course, everyone really loves our burgers. They're top notch with our special sauce. And then, of course, we have our special drink, the Blue Tap. What can I interest you in?
Let's go for a mild, medium well slug mignon.
All right, that comes with a side of algae fries. How you want that cooked?
Let's go with a light tap.
All right, at that point, you walk in there, Stella Nova, and you see this metal woman waitress getting Chimera's order, and you walk over and you kind of do a spot around. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
All right. Well, that is a 5.
So you kind of look around. You don't spot anyone looking for you or anything, and you were able to get Lila's pictures from the internet. You don't really spot her, so you sit down for a little bit. The same waitress walks up to you and says, "Hello, dear. Welcome to the Blue Tapper. I'm Jane. What can I get for you today? Our special is the slug mignon, with, of course, the side of algae fries or crisps or whatever bullshit I made up a few minutes ago."
Where's fries?
Okay, I gotta remember.
Fries sound great.
Yes. How would you like those cooked? light, medium, or well done?
Let's do medium. That sounds safe.
All right. She says, "I'll get you right up." She kind of goes into her back, and you're just kind of sitting there for a minute. And after about 20 minutes, both White Dragon and Demon Cloak, are you guys in your hero outfits, or are you incognito in your civvies?
Incognito with a backpack.
Okay.
Probably for the best, yeah.
All right. So you guys are sitting there.
Technically, I understand my outfit is very like, oh yeah, just remove it, but let's just say that the piercings take a hot minute to take out or something. That way it's not just, oh, I'm instantly in my, whatever. I can't be Clark Kent all the time.
All right. So you're sitting there for a while. You're getting kind of bored. You see a DRT unit start walking your general direction. It gets about it's about 100 feet, and it seems to be walking towards you. What do you do?
So are we? Quick question, Ian. Are we attempting to go into the blue tapper, or what is exactly our plan?
I plan wants to go into the blue tapper.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, I'm glad I'm just wondering we're on the same page.
I mean, I'm still wearing my armor, if you will, underneath my civilian clothing, but I'm
Right.
not displaying
That,
it.
yeah, very Clark Kent of you.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So
Not like I have a hollow projector wrist device.
okay. So you guys are walking towards the blue tapper, and about 100 feet away, there is a DRT unit walking your direction.
But it's going to be between us and the blue tapper, right?
Well,
we're gonna have to
so
get
you're heading directly to it, and it's coming, crosswalk, right? You're perpendicular paths.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what I was trying to understand.
Yeah. And
So
I
he's not
honestly didn't know you
really-
were going inside, so.
I thought, yeah, because there's nowhere else to go.
Well,
We
that's
don't
why
have
I
anywhere.
assumed you were waiting outside. No, that's fine. I know you're going inside,
Okay.
so there's perpendicular paths right now. You're on your way. This thing is going to cross your path. What are you going to do? I think we lost somebody.
Yeah, I think it was.
Bathroom break.
Oh, his camera's probably off because he didn't kick out. Anyway, so what is the plan?
Hey, White Dragon, you see that DRT over there?
Yeah, and
Well, seeing as the last time I had a run-in with one of these, I'm probably going to be more likely caught, so I think I might have to hang back for a minute.
okay.
All
I
right.
kind of,
So you
I
kind
kind of
of
just sit back a little bit.
you kind
try
of
to
just
stay out of the
swerve to
way.
towards one of the food carts that'll block between you and the DRT unit.
Okay.
Clink, 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 clink. You end up walking right past it there, White Dragon. And you come in, you see Stella Nova and Chimera. There's plenty of seats. You look around, and would you prefer a booth? A table? Okay. So you hunker down in one of the corner booths. Lady comes up, takes your order. Hi, my name's Jane. Welcome to the Blue Tapper. What can I get for you? And she gives you the same spiel.
Medium well.
All right then, hon. I'll take care of you. She writes it down. She goes in the back. After about 15 minutes, is Stella Nova back yet?
No.
Not yet. When do after the DRT clearly passes by, I attempt to walk back.
All
in.
right. So another. At this point, you had to wait. It ended up stopping a little bit and was interrogating a few people, kind of like a stop and frisk type thing. You see
Yeah.
its little scanner, and it's blocked out front. You wait for it to
definitely
go
don't
about 10 minutes. You manage to come in. Everyone's kind of eating and mowing down on their food. You have a couple options. Where do you sit?
I'm gonna sit with White Dragon.
All right, so you slide into the
In the
round
booth.
corner booth with White Dragon. And Jane walks up. Oh, I'm sorry, dear. I didn't know you were having company. What can I get for you? And she gives you the same spiel.
Yeah, sorry, I had to. Old lady crossing the street, you know how that is.
Turns out the old lady's probably got like super endurance and strength.
Yeah, she could probably bulldoze the truck. I'll just take a. Got anything caffeinated?
Oh,
got a
absolutely.
long schedule ahead of me.
We got some bourbon toe coffee. That's pretty strong.
I'll take it.
All right.
What's the sizes?
Well, we have our traditional, our small, which when you look, the small is like huge. And we have our medium and our large. The small is the best deal. But for, one extra credit, you can go to the next size up. It's all fair here. You know how we work.
Shit, I don't have any credits.
Are you broke? You're broke.
I'm broke.
I think White Dragon's got you covered, right?
I
guess
kind of
so.
think I think to myself, and I'm like, oh shit. Actually, I must have forgot to transfer funds over. I guess I'll just have to settle for a water for now. Sorry about that.
Steve says the strong granny's name should be Great Grandma. Straight to the point. All right. So, Stella Nova, after sitting here, it's now a quarter after 1, and a lovely young lady steps up from the back and says, "Excuse me, are you Elowen?"
Yes, I am.
And you recognize her right away. She says, "Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Lila. I'm sorry I must have missed you, or you must have missed me when you came in." Shitty perception checks will do that. Unfortunately, that means our meeting will have to be a little shorter, but I'm sure that I can do. Why don't you? I've got a table over here. Come. And she says, "Jane, just move this lovely young lady's food to my table when it's ready, and I'll pick up the bill, all right?" And she kind of ushers you over into the back. And you kind of see why you didn't see her. There's like a giant coat rack or lab coat rack where she's sitting was just enough to block it. It's like that crappy part of the card right down the side where it blocks your view. And you
Yeah,
just
I know
happen to
the
miss her. And
I
you-
know the feeling. I have an equinox, and it kind of gives me a blind spot.
Yeah. She says, "Have a seat." So, well, first of all, thank you for the wonderful opportunity. I'm absolutely ecstatic. Not only am I excited to be able to, interview somebody of your, let's just say the younger kids aren't into science and school as much as they should be. You know what I mean? It feels like if you don't have the genius deviant gene, nobody really cares these days. So I'm super excited when somebody takes interest in my profession as a whole. So what is it I can do for you today?
Yeah, no, I want to actually thank you for the opportunity. It's great to meet with somebody so advanced in the field, and it's very exciting that I'm just going to speak with you. So yeah, I wanted to get started off then with for this class project, kind of working on. So kind of working on the idea of ethics and physics and the intersection thereof. Kind of wondering what insight you might have in the field as to maybe some ethical issues that you have found in your work.
Oh dear, that is
Scroll.
that is a long that requires a long and that's a long and complicated answer, dear. I would say, the nature of, advanced militaristic tech development in general, let's be honest, people say it's to save lives. And in part is true, with all the stuff going on since the rise between the deviants who exploit their power and the mutations of, the alterations to nature in general do require us to be a little more prepared, which in and of itself is an ethical decision, because then we're obviously spending all of our time and resources learning how to deal with these. Now, I would love to pretend that it's all non-lethal, but unfortunately it's not, so that just creates a moral issue and ethics issue all in and of its own, I think. But you also got to look at it from the other point of view. If we don't develop the technology, then innocence will be harmed from that, and we're kind of stuck in that being victim state, which nobody wants, right? When you're left helpless to those that do have power. So it's definitely a hard line to balance, I think.
Absolutely, and I do appreciate your insight there, because I understand it is a big question and it's got a lot of nuance to it. There's this talk a lot about the phrase "the end justifies the means." Is there any example of from when from your work and from your personal experience in the field that you have found a kind of line there when maybe the end doesn't justify the means or something along those lines, because it is a tricky situation.
I also want to say, DM, I do have a passive perception of 16 if that ever needs to come into play.
I was just going to ask everyone to give me a perception check, and go ahead and share with me your passive perception as well, everyone. So what is, I got white dragons.
Passive is 16.
Passive 15.
You're very quiet, Ian.
My passive is 16.
Okay. You're still very quiet, just so you know. I don't know if it's because you're so far away or what.
Probably just turn them up.
Yeah, I guess
As
I
far
can do
away as
that.
I always am.
Yeah, well, you're very loud, or you're very quiet. I just boosted up. There we go. We'll see if that's better.
So,
That's much better. I just turned you up. That's 200%. Then we've got Richter.
My passive is also 16, but I rolled a 9.
And Stella.
Passive is 13, and I rolled a 13.
All right. What was the roll for white? Not for White Dragon and Chimera.
21.
Okay.
I rolled a 22, and my passive is a 15.
All right. So so as you guys are sitting there, Richter, pretty much everyone, but Stella, you actually notice it's very slight. But while she's asking the question, she kind of takes in a quick, short, sharp breath, which indicates some sort of uncomfortableness. But it's subtle enough that it could have just been chance, plus with all the diner chatter. But you did pick up on that. At this point, the waitress comes back and refreshes your drinks and everything like that. One guy in the corner, big squid-like face, got tendrils kind of just dangling down. You hear him slopping away, and he's getting up and is.
Are we thinking Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean kind of look, or?
Yeah, I was thinking a Cthulhu kind of style look. And actually, I was thinking of something else, but I don't want to get sued by Wizards of the Coast, so.
Yeah.
And he starts to get out, and she says, "Excuse me, Jackson, you didn't pay." And he continues walking. Jackson, you didn't, and he just keeps on going, and he picks up space and he dashes out the door. And she says, "Oh my." She reaches to the back. "Sir, he did it again." You hear in the back. Yeah, I'll let his wife know. All right.
Dine and run.
Right.
Dine and dash.
She kind of looks right, and she kind of looks around. She says, "Don't worry, it happens all the time. He's a good man. He just is always, late." At that moment, she kind of lets out her breath. She says, "In a position like mine, Elowen, it's hard to answer. Do the ends always justify the means?" That is a hard question because it really depends. What is the intent behind the decision? If the intent is self-sacrificing, then I believe 100%. If it's selfish, then not so much. It all depends on the intent. Is a person whose family member is dying and you don't have the resources, and they go and decide that in order to get what they need, they're going to break into a medical professional's, laboratory and steal the remedy even though they can't afford it. Do you think that is that person wrong for wanting their family to live even though it's against the law to steal? Or is it worse, the fact that that medicine isn't available to that person who needs it already? What are your thoughts? A child your age certainly must have your own opinion. Do you think that's right or wrong?
It's honestly so hard to say because it's very, it's very nuanced. It depends on the situation. It depends on, there's so many factors that are always involved, which is why I wanted to ask you as a professional who's been in the field for a while. It's hard to wrap your mind around these kinds of thoughts, and I'm sure you thought a lot more about it than I have at this point.
Science requires sacrifice and especially advancement. And unfortunately, the intentions aren't always as noble as they could be. Generally, let's be honest, it comes down to credits. Credits drive everything. But most who enter the field, that isn't the initial intent. She kind of looks around to make sure nobody's listening, kind of leans in really quietly and says, and honestly, I don't always think that that's right. But that's why I think what VANE did was such a world-breaking change. To offer free housing to those that really need it is something that the world has failed to do, yet a private organization chose to do. So let me ask you, is everything that they do altruistic, or is there an ulterior motive? And who...
Yeah, I think everybody's got a motive for something, for anything that they do, whether it's altruistic or otherwise. But as a company's got to make money.
Yeah, and so thus we come back to, does the end justify the means? When money is the end game, usually people will make whatever decisions they have to, because not everyone has what they need to survive, and those that do have want more. And we have no way to draw that line yet. So, do I always think the ends justify the means? No. But I do think that there are some circumstances that I have seen and I've been a part of that are right and just and are worth the cost, whether they're right or wrong. Out of character, I have no idea if I actually answered your question.
This is great. It's getting into some anti-capitalism stuff, and I am here for it.
True
Take on the capitalists.
DMing at its finest.
Right. She says, so, do you have any other questions for me? This is, like I said, if you want, I'd be happy to send you over some resources that might be able to help with some of that. But that's a long answer that obviously you're going to want the opinions of many, because I could be an outlier in this data set of information you're seeking, and you definitely don't want to rely on solely my statements, of course.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fair, and I definitely appreciate that insight. I appreciate any resources you can provide. But maybe to lighten the mood a little bit, let's talk a physics question. What have been some of your interests recently in the field? Different types of chemicals, different types of, specific sciences. Are you more into the statistical or into the chemical, or what's been interesting you lately?
Well, honestly, I have been experimenting with different I have been interested in more of the efficiency of combustibles. I find that some of the material that we use is just not efficient enough. Very much reminiscent of 100 years ago when they would use, rockets to launch. I mean, it was just inefficient. And I feel like some of the equipment that we use is still along those lines in I think we have room to improve. Actually, I think there's a lot of, I don't know if you know, but there's a lot of potential behind diethomite. It's flammable chemical, but it's not. It has potential when compressed and fused with a few other key chemicals. It creates quite a powerful reaction that could be the basis for new demolition equipment or even potentially some potential militaristic uses, obviously, because where I work. Instantly, Richter and White Dragon, you kind of notice a subtle tremor in her voice when she mentions that. Almost as she cuts herself off at the end very quick, almost as if she might have slipped up more than she wanted to. But once again, it's subtle if you're not listening to the nuances of her speaking. In the back somewhere, you hear some dishes clatter and fall, and you hear, "Oh, not again, you bastard! Why don't you put on some gloves on those tentacles and you won't drop nothing?" Sorry, sir.
I have my little hollow notepad or whatever. And I'm totally writing this down as a story. It's not going to be a mainline headline stuff, but people are going to love this. Serial thieving at a fucking diner and clumsiness all over in the Blue Tapper. I have to say, this place is a 4 out of 5 because it's never boring.
I agree with that logic. And the food's good too.
Food's not bad. I was surprised.
So she says, "Well, but that's still experimental, and I don't know that it'll ever be as powerful as our maglev and anti-gravity technology, but there's some stuff that is just some resources that are just slightly easier to get in other parts of the world, and so we got to continue to expand upon those."
Sure, that makes a lot of sense, and that's very interesting. Let's see. Trying to think of any other questions for you at the moment. Anything you think I should know?
Well, I would be honest. Are you looking? I mean, I'm trying to remember the exact guise that you put it under for the reason you said you wanted to meet with her. Was it for? It was for a school project on.
I don't think we specified what school
Okay,
project. I think it was
okay.
just an interview for a project.
Just making sure. It says. She says,
It's
"Well."
not that I can remember.
So at this point, she looks at you and says, "Well, I mean, as far as the way this I think this interview has gone really well. I probably have time for maybe one more good question, but then I'll have to scamper back to my workload. I do have to say that I'm a fan of what you're doing, and I appreciate anyone who's seeking knowledge and trying to better understand." She slides over onto the table a business card. She says, "When you've finished your college, and if you're looking for work, don't be afraid to reach out to me. I'm always happy to try to help."
As she slides over the business card, can I do an investigation check to see if I see anything on her?
Absolutely.
All right.
Come on, Elowen.
All right, we have got. Oh man, we've got a 22.
So as she's cycling through her wallet to pull out the business card, you spot a card that has the same logo as the one on the warehouse that White Dragon visited. It is it looks almost like a circle with a shark fin on it. It's just like the top of the dorsal fin. Or it's an arrow. It looks more like a shark fin, but it could be like a fancy looking arrow.
Gotcha. Okay.
So she has some sort of connection to that building, which is building a case that she somehow knows this. She says, you know, I hope that when my daughter gets older, she'll and she kind of stammers over her words a little bit, and you guys can even Elowen can tell that she's a little bit shaken. She says, I hope when my daughter is old enough and makes it to school, goes to school and college, that she'll be as charming and as intelligent as you are.
I immediately text over, ask her how her daughter's grades are right now.
Ooh. Oh, you have a daughter. How old is she? She in school now?
Not at the moment. She's not well, and you start to see a little bit of moisture in her eyes. She says she's in the hospital at the moment. She's very ill. And it's funny you asked me about, well, maybe it's a little close personal to me, but she's got a very difficult disease, and her face starts to kind of turn red, her eyes start to water a little bit more and more. She says, and I just gotta do what I do to help take care of her and protect her, and hopefully we can get through this. Currently, there's no known cure for this disease, and honestly, it has me shaken up. She's been out of school for about a year, but up to that point, she had been really smart. She's very outgoing. She takes a really deep breath. She's going to be okay, though. I'm going to make sure of it. I'm going to take care of her. We're going to get her the treatment she needs.
That sounds really tough. I wish you all the best in your endeavors, and well wishes and good thoughts, good vibes going your way. Let me know if I can help. I do. I do have a little sister who traveled with me to the city here, and yeah, she's a bright up and comer herself.
Yeah. You do anything to protect her?
I definitely do what I can to protect her, for sure. Thankfully, I haven't had much need to at the moment, but yeah.
What if you had to do it, make a decision that you didn't agree with?
I think that goes back to our questions a little bit ago about the end justify the means. Got to determine all those nuances and make sure you're making the best decision for everyone.
She takes a deep breath, lets a long out, and says, "You're right, of course. But I have work to do. So this was a wonderful meeting. I know my daughter Emilise would love to meet you. So hopefully this won't be the last time that we meet. And you'll stay in touch. And if you have another project that you need to meet, or if you have any questions, just let me know. Like I said, on my card there is my number. You can reach out, and I'll be there to help if you need it."
Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Appreciate you taking the time today, and thanks for buying lunch. I mean, that was so generous of you.
She says, "Don't worry about it. The company pays for it."
Hell yeah.
Tell you with that.
She says, "Well, I guess I will see you later." She stands up. She kind of bows a little bit and says, "Have a good day." And she says, "Jane, see you later. Same time tomorrow." So the waves are by, and they head out. At that moment, the rest of you guys see her kind of leave, and you guys kind of sit uncomfortably for a minute until she's been gone long enough. Do you guys get up and leave the building, or do you guys kind of now huddle together? What is the plan?
I think we probably leave the building separately so no one else gets suspicious.
Yeah.
That is some high-level paranoia right there. All right,
I mean,
so
I don't think
you
there's
can't be a
need to track her
superhero
at the
without
moment.
paranoia.
right, you'd be dead really quick.
I don't think there's really a big need to follow her right now. Anyway, we got quite a bit of information, I think.
All right, so you guys,
We also know she'll be back here tomorrow, same time.
yeah, it's almost like it's her lunchtime.
That's all we need, though.
So at this point, you guys have a couple options. You can find somewhere to meet nearby, or you can individually meet back up at the apartment area. I don't know if I ever gave it a name, where Commissioner Jordan is. It is a little bit of a drive, so you'll probably have to take a what do we call it?
Oh, it was Sky
service.
Sky something.
Yeah, I forgot what it was called.
Oh, yeah, let's go back up here.
Yeah, that's why I love our notes here.
I literally put it in one of our promotional materials.
Whisper.
Yeah.
No, that's not
Somebody find it.
it.
The Cobalt City Taxi Skylane.
That's right.
Skylane, that's what it was.
So you guys kind of make your way a little ways away, and you guys kind of meet, and you dial on your holopad. Boom, Skylane shoots right over, and door opens, and sure as shit, says Porker right on the back.
This guy again.
I got no fucking money. I can't do this shit.
And so you guys jump in, and there's Porker. He says, "Do I know you?" I don't.
Yes.
So like, you look familiar.
We were discussing
your
at
card.
the time.
Oh,
I look probably the same.
where are we going?
Owen, your place?
Let me tell you a story on the way. And he just starts rambling on and on about the good old days back when, electricity was cheaper for his vehicle, and the repairs for his maglev, stones were cheaper. His maglev, shit, I can't remember what that was called. Anyways, his air scoopers and everything, it's all pricey, and he talks about the good old days back when they were made out of good material before they started making everything so cheap it falls apart. He's like, speaking of which, and he pulls down his little rear view mirror, and it's like cracked. He's like, I've replaced this bastard 3 times. You know that? And it just keeps falling, and he goes to adjust it, and sure enough, it detaches. Like, damn it! So anyways, I'll get you where you guys want to go. How should I get there? Do you guys want the fast route? Or you want the long route?
Of course.
I was hoping you would say that. He presses
And I hold on tight.
he presses a button, and the car begins to shift and turns into an emergency vehicle with the lights flashing, and he guns it. And everyone's moving out of the way. Oh, by the way, it's double price for Rush. You guys get there. There's no rubber. It floats. It's a lot of as it stops in place. It says, all right.
Is this illegal? Impersonating an emergency vehicle?
Hey.
Would I know as an undercover cop know that it's illegal?
Oh, it certainly is. He looks around. He presses the button, and it transforms back like a stupid transformer. Rush is double. That'll be. He hits the change machine, and the numbers just flash randomly. 26 credits, apparently. He hits it a couple more times, and it changes again. Sorry, 28.
Hey, can someone cover me real quick? Haven't gotten paid yet.
Adding his own tip to it, I guess.
He keeps
28
hitting it,
each?
and every time he hits it, it goes up a little more. He's like, I swear there's something wrong with this. You know, back in my day,
So
we
was
used
it
to do it all
28
by
each
distance.
for-
What's
Was
that?
it 28? Was it 28 for each of us?
No, just total.
Oh.
I don't remember what I
Um,
charged you last time. I probably should
I got it.
standardize
I don't remember
that.
either.
Got it. Don't worry about it.
I should write standardized instructions for travel fees and shit. I'm writing that down so I don't forget. He says, so, anytime you need Porco, you just give me a call. He's got his big old snout and his pig face. It's like, I'll be there in a minute. Okay, maybe 2 if I'm eating a rot dog, all right?
A little,
Dog.
a little
Ugh.
screen of holographic technology just flies over to his register. Chimera pays for the ride.
Ding.
It said your card was declined, sir. Can you run that again? He hits it on it a couple more times. It happens sometimes. I promise it doesn't mean you're broke. So you swipe your holo card again, and it kind of just, it flickers a little bit. He bangs on it, and then it rings up. All right, before you go, I got one last story I'd like to tell you. When I was a young little porkling, I lived down the road from this big bad wolf guy. Really horrible dude. He always liked to party, and he'd get all angry and stomp and try to knock our houses down. Real pain in the ass. Luckily, the DRT got a hold of him, and I haven't had to deal with it since. But it just don't trust those with a little bit of in their blood. All right, I'm saying. I promise that you're gonna be better off for it. All right, guys, you guys have a good one, and as you guys are getting out, the door shuts, and he looks at the building and says, you know, I remember a time when in my younger days, I lived in an apartment just like this. And you guys just start walking away, and his voice kind of fades. And as you close the door behind you, you look out, and he's still talking. All right, you guys make it back upstairs to the hideout or the location of operations, and Rain and Stitch are not there, but Commissioner Jordan is sitting there. She's got her she's got her armaments on, her leather pants and big giant trench coat and everything, and she got her little shades on, big red hair. She's sitting there, and welcome back. What do we know?
Ooh.
The girl in the jar is probably her daughter, so yeah.
The jar.
Sure.
Well, that's interesting. I guess we suspected as much with the 86%, but did she tell you that, or how did you manage to get that information?
No,
It's heavily implied.
it was
Yeah, she said her daughter was really sick and has been sick for about a year with an incurable disease. So I think it's pretty safe to assume that it's as we expected.
We should also mention the business card.
Oh, yes. We also saw this symbol, the logo. We saw that what Dragon saw at the house as well, kind of like a circle with a shark fin.
Should also mention the fact that she is proficient with explosives.
She takes
And-
a heavy, deep breath as you're explaining the explosives thing. She says, what did you say was on the card?
Like a circle with a shark fin on it.
And you see a little bit of kind of fear jump in her, and she says, that's not good.
why.
Well, that's the symbol of a very notorious kingpin. This has definitely just got... the stakes for this investigation just went up, you guys.
Would I know this kingpin?
What's that?
Would I know this kingpin?
It depends. Is someone not like? Are they ballsy enough to even mention it in the police force?
I would say you know of him, but nobody knows him. They know it's kind of like I don't know how better to describe that. People know he exists, but nobody knows who he is.
Like who he is? Yeah.
Sounds like Shadow Broker from Mass Effect.
They call him the. Most people just call him a kingpin, but they don't actually know, or most that do find out don't live long enough to tell. She says, "This is very disconcerting. If he's behind this, he must have big plans."
That's dangerous.
Which also means it's likely that the Bright Bomber is doing this all for credits and is not actually the master behind all of this.
Coercing an
Yeah.
explosive researcher to provide funds for her daughter's for research into her daughter's disease.
I mean,
while
think
also
about it.
Providing
What was the
facilities.
very first job that we saw when we all became what we are now? It was a bank job. She was stealing credits. Why would you steal credits for something that, you know, in a society like today where health insurance is kind of hard to come by? Don't know if that's, you know, a thing we should all worry about, but that's besides the point.
Well, in this area, healthcare is offered to deviants. As far as you know. But as she said, there was something about it that made it very expensive and unaffordable. So either there's not a cure for her daughter, the cure is not owned or available to everybody, thus putting a cost on it, or her daughter's not a deviant and not covered under it. You know, all those little petty, you know, the fine print, right?
Never thought about the daughter
Regular.
not being a deviant.
Those are only speculation, of course, on your guys' part that you're able to come up with
You could
based
say
on
the
what you've
daughter's-
learned.
You could say the daughter's a regular.
Or a civvy, you mean?
Yeah, I don't know that we ever decided on a name for non-soups.
Non-deviants.
Yeah.
Nope.
Probably just
So-
civilians. That's really just what they are.
But
They're just
deviants are civilians too.
pedestrians. I don't know, dude.
That's not
Look at
bad.
us with regulars.
They're just pedestrians. They're
I almost
Little less
said
than
peds
civvies.
for short, but that's a little too close to pedo, so let's not go there.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Anyway, so let's so she
Do we have
says oh, what?
Any idea on what this kingpin looks like?
I don't.
Any idea?
They say that he has many forms, but nobody really knows for sure because once again, those that do know who he is die with that knowledge.
He could be a shapeshifter. That'd
That's
be no good.
that. There's a lot of speculation for that as well, but it's unclear at the moment. Like I said,
Or
he's
he
good
can
about
spend-
hiding, but that
or
doesn't
he
change
sends
the.
agent-
Go ahead.
Or he sends people to stand in for him, for them. Make it part of the deception of their many forms.
That's very clever, Chimera. That makes sense. But that doesn't stray away from our only lead right now. Even if there is somebody else behind this, we have to stop the Bright Bomber. I would say that based on your investigation, we are confident that this Lila is likely our bomber. The question is what do we do with this information? I wouldn't mind sharing it with the DRT or the police, but I'm afraid that that's not going to be handled in a situation that's appropriate for what you've said happened. If it does turn out that she's only trying to help her child then I don't
Then we would have
know.
just killed the child.
Yes.
Because if it's an incurable disease, then without the bright bomber, they have no need for the child, and they would have just let her go.
Yeah.
No point in
What
putting
about-
money into something that's no longer making you money.
What about asking the business for assistance?
The business? Want to
I
elaborate?
have reached out to them. They, in their own words, think that they have bigger problems.
That's
Specifically,
what I was afraid of.
I mean, that's why we're here, to deal with the lesser issues.
Air
They
quotes.
said that if we can manage to rein in and identify the kingpin behind what's going on, then they would be able to get involved. But until then, we're on our own. Their resources, while are vast, are also worldwide, and they have to prioritize. And unfortunately, they are not willing to give us the resources we need at the moment. They already were disgruntled about the services that they had to already offer you.
I shrink my head. Not actually, but just kind of lower myself.
Yeah.
It's funny because I wouldn't even have thought of the actual shrink your head until you actually said, not actually, because you're a shapeshifter. Like, he's got a tiny head.
So,
So then,
Yeah, let's.
what is the building? This building that we know that the child is in. Do we know what company
Well-
owns it, or
From what I understand, it is a facility that stabilizes the girl's condition, whatever it is, until the bright bomber accumulates enough creds to facilitate possible cure or research into developing a cure.
I'm at it's called AP Inc. That's what is that what it is?
Mhm.
AP Inc. Advanced Militaristic Tech Developments.
yep. No,
Okay.
that's the work business that
That's the one that's holding the girl,
Layla.
right?
That's the one that Layla works for. Lila. What did I say? Lila? The
Yeah,
other
Lila.
building was just a warehouse that had the circle with the arrow/shark fin design on it.
So we don't know what the building actually is.
Right. It's something that has
Well.
privatized military. And the fact that it relates to a known kingpin is a concern to Commissioner Jordan.
We should probably figure out what that business is, at least
Right.
what the symbol attached to it is, anyway. Obviously, we're not going to know who the
That's-
kingpin is, but
Is that really our top priority at the moment? I think that we need to capture the Bright Bomber. You guys had her in your grasp. If you thought she was her, we should have made a move. And I should.
Well, an alternative option though is that she's the supplier, not the bomber herself. That she's in that she is supplying the chemicals for the bombs, is not
could
she
be.
herself the bomber.
I guess we couldn't directly say she is the Bright Bomber, but more of just someone who could supply the bombs. The Bright Bomber might not even have to have knowledge on the bombs, themselves, just knows how to plant them effectively and efficiently.
And who knows her
Could be a different skill
child.
set.
Yeah, and who knows, her child might not even be. It might not even necessarily be like a research facility, more or less than a holding cell for her child until she gets them all that she wants.
This is fair. Almost like a
So-
stasis chamber.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
horrible.
And her child hostage.
That's savage.
This is a very like
So,
Pokemon Mewtwo-esque shit going on in a cloning facility.
Steve says it's a daycare. and a night care. And a pretty much 365-day year care.
Savage daycare.
What? So she turns over and looks at White Dragon. You've been awfully quiet. Do you have anything to add?
I do believe she's involved. It's just a question of how involved and in what way, as we've already firmly established. And she does seem to have a pattern of going to that bar all the time, so we can make further observations if we have to.
Which also, if she kind of goes there all the time, that's pretty bold of someone of the Bright Bomber's caliber, seeing as they're supposed to be this intelligent person. You would think they would keep their tracks a little more reserved than so brazen.
Do you think
This could be arrogance.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Could be arrogance.
So I guess the next question is, do we try to capture this Lila and interrogate her?
I'd say we tail her for a few days from a distance, and when it is time to make our move, we arrest her, but we secure the facility where her daughter is.
I don't know. I don't know that we have a few days, but I do think we need to keep an eye on her somehow, some way.
Hmm.
So, did anybody think to place a pen on her person?
I literally was thinking about it while we were there, but I didn't think that I had anything on me.
I don't remember if she took it from you or if she kept it with you. I don't
I
recall.
don't remember either,
No idea.
frankly.
I don't think we wrote it down either. Yeah.
If you would have asked, I would have assumed you had it. Because I think I gave it back to you after she viewed it and told you what it was, which is basically a recorder, a spy device, right?
Yeah.
She says, well, let us track her from her location and monitor her movements. You obviously know her location now. Let us get some
Same place tomorrow.
surveillance.
Same time.
Let's get some surveillance set up and see if you can tailor and see where she goes.
I
Oh,
could.
well, we know where she works. I've got her business card. Chimera. What if you can slip the surveillance pen into her pocket or something, into her lab coat?
I could do that. Although, if we survey her for a day, I might find an opening to try and slip it in without her noticing. And I go invisible and then switch it off.
Exactly.
To help.
Or it could just assume the place she works has janitors. What place doesn't?
Well, you did just visit her. Maybe there, Stella. Stella. You could send her the pen as a gift, as a thank you for the interview.
That's a thought as well.
I totally stole that from Steve, so I cannot take credit for that idea because I think that's genius. So I guess
Just
the
assuming
question-
you can carry it, though.
Well, it's an antique by this point. No one carries pens.
Good point. All right. So, well, how about this? I'll send. First thing tomorrow morning, we'll head out to her place. I think we can investigate it and set up a plan to deal with finding a way, meeting her maybe at her place of work or where Stella met her, the Blue Tapper, and try to put some surveillance on her. So tomorrow morning we can do the house while she's at work, and then when she's on break, maybe try to get something on her person. What do you guys think?
I think we can do that.
I think that sounds good. Do we need to do anything in the meantime, though?
Well, that's entirely up to you. It's going to take me some time to get the necessary equipment together.
Actually,
Go ahead.
this might sound a little not great of me, but if anyone can lend me some credits, I can actually skulk around and see if I can.
You broke
I know.
ass.
I'm broke as fuck, but I mean, I might be able to, because, when I pull out my pen and my hollow pen and hollow paper. Kind of am a reporter.
Hollow
Kind of
pad.
know some people.
I got some
And-
connections.
Maybe I might be able to find out some boss's name on this kingpin guy or something while we're all taking a day to kind of look up on the Bright Bomber. I might look into this kingpin a little bit more. Maybe I can find one of his lackeys or something. Maybe I can work up the food chain a little bit there.
Cut the food
It'll
chain,
take a
you
bit,
say.
but you know, one day he'll get me started. At least I don't assume I would get there very easily.
Yeah. So if I'm understanding this right, you want to try to reach out to your contacts. What is your reporter feature? I forget.
I actually have it pulled up for a second. Hold on, I'll get to it real quick. It is. Did I go too far?
Anybody else have any other features that they want to try to leverage as we do a short 1 day?
The feature is
Downtime thing.
notable contact. You have a short list of reliable and trustworthy contacts who act as your network liaison. You know how to get messages to and from your contact. For a small price, they're always willing to share knowledge of rumors that have hit their ears or send messages on your behalf.
For a small
So,
price.
For a small price.
That's why you needed to borrow money.
Credits.
I was
I
like,
haven't
why is he
gotten
asking
paid
for money?
yet.
Yeah.
My job hasn't paid me yet. I haven't sent any stories in a hot minute.
So are you going to are you guys going to lend him some cred so he can do that?
Sure.
Yeah,
I
gotta
know
be
some
running out
people.
of money at some point.
Yes, Jordan, the Circle of the Shark, the Kingpin, does he by any chance have any known connections to VANE, by any chance?
That's hard to tell. There
And
has
got
been
so many hands and everything. It'd be kind of hard to say.
as Demon Cloak mentioned, obviously with VANE being the biggest corporation in the world and the one that built this city and their buildings being everywhere, it's hard to tell if his relationship with them is just coincidental because of their how they have their hands and everything, or if he has some sort of inside information.
There's also a man I have to track down anyway, so if he's connected to VANE, then all the easier. And then if I can find that guy and then delicately talk to him,
Delicately.
I'll be able to maybe find out a little more on this kingpin situation. So since I know he's at the Sky Docks, or was at the Sky Docks, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay, so we've got what Richter's doing. What about Stella?
So I just took this enhancement called Hacker. Basically the enhancement itself just gives me adept points towards investigation and technology. But I was thinking about kind of using that hacking skill of sorts to see if I could find anything extra about this kind of like kingpin operation, underground operation of sorts. If they
Okay.
have
Digital
anything online.
digital footprints, online chats.
Yep. Go ahead and give me a technology check, please.
All right. I think I'm gonna use one of my adept points here. Because that was a bad roll. Alright. Well, it's a skill check, right?
Yep.
Well, I got a natural 1 on it. So it probably doesn't help anyway. If
Okay. I got it. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay, and then so that's so Austin's going to reach out to a contact, right?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
off screen, by the way.
Yeah, I know. And then Stella's going to try to look for information on this kingpin, correct?
Yeah, I'll probably break the computer in
What
the
about
process.
White Dragon?
I'm pretty sure that the place she works at requires janitorial staff, so you see where that's going with me, as usual.
Nice.
And my day job is a janitor, so it's not like I don't know how to be one.
All right, and then last but certainly not least is Chimera.
Probably going to be part of the surveillance team. Tail her and have like a backup of this rare pen that we've been talking about. Look
All right.
for study for an opening to try to slip it in.
Okay. All right.
While also surveilling her.
So, all right. So, what we're going to do is we are going to do a skill challenge that's going to take place over the next day, basically. So, Stella gave me her role. I'm going to need I would say you're doing your janitorial work and trying to poke around in the business. Is that correct?
Pretty much.
So go ahead and give me I don't know what check would be best for that. I'm torn between investigation or deception.
Don't forget the clipboard, Steve says.
This is if I pretend to be a scientist.
What's that?
Only if I pretend to be a scientist, which might happen. Let's be real here.
All right. So go ahead and give me an investigation check, and then I'll need a stealth check from Chimera.
15.
Okay, I have a +10 stealth.
Nice.
Beats my +8.
So what I'm gonna do?
Come on.
Ha! He got a 10. He got 11. Did you get 11? Please tell me you got 11.
No, I got a 19 total.
Oh. That's not a come on reaction. Austin, I need a... well, you're going to automatically succeed because you have a feature that basically lets you, but the charge is going to be 25 credits.
Skill challenge, dude. Skill challenge.
What's going on?
Succeeding. You're using your feature, your reporter feature, your contact.
Yeah.
So I need 25 credits off the docket from you guys. And that's going to count as an auto success. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down the list and feed you what information each of you have gathered over the next 24 hours on your investigation.
I'll pitch in 10 credits.
I said I was going to pay for it.
Oh,
Just a bit of voucher for case expenses. Yeah, I guess I should. I work for the government briefly. Sorry.
that's funny.
Automatic advantage if you're holding the clipboard, says Steve.
All right, so we're gonna start with Austin. Austin, you reach out. You send a hologram. Hologram. I don't know why I find that so funny. Because it's a play on words.
It is.
I'm
It
such
is.
a
good one.
damn dork. So you reach out to one of your contacts. Unfortunately, you had to get to a backup contact. This person's name is Dean Harlan. He's a bit of a husky man. He generally wears a big blue overcoat, but generally does kind of the maintenance around the Skyport area. You've met him a few times. He's not as reliable as your primary contact, but you weren't able to get into contact
Good old
with them. And he's very
Jimmy Johnson.
he's very optimistic, like, and he goes, wait, he goes, what's he know you as? What's your reporter name? Is that Richter, right?
Yep. Ravis Richter.
Hey, he goes, hey, is this thing on? And he clicks and you see like a hollow version of himself. He says, Ravis, is that you?
Oh yeah. Hey, how's it going, Dean?
It's going. Honestly, it's not going good, man. I'm having problems at work. They won't give me a raise. I've been put on notice twice. They say these machines, and he just starts ranting about how the stuff he fixed doesn't stay fixed. And he's like, it's really been causing problems, man. I gotta be honest. And it's just not go. I'm sorry. What did you need?
So there's a description of a man that I'm kind of looking for.
It's a lot of men.
I know. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Yep. Okay.
But a man with sandy blonde hair, kind of dirty blonde hair. He's got a mole under his left eye. Anyone fit that description for you?
I feel like I should know who that is.
It's the guy who kind of put me in a test tube.
Oh, that's right. Okay. He's like,
Yeah, out of character.
oh, okay,
of
yeah,
course.
honestly, dude, I couldn't remember. He goes,
We don't have a name for him.
a mole under his eye. Let me get my papers. Hang on a second. You hear some shuffling around. His head, his three-dimensional head kind of disappears for a minute, and then it comes back. It's all blurry before it settles. He's like, yeah, he's holding up a piece of paper. It's all like crinkles. Like, yeah, mole under eye.
Yeah.
Over eye. This says on the top, over his top eye, his top of his left eye. Is that what you're looking for?
No, it was below.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
sorry. Hang on. He turns his paper upside right. Yes. Underneath the eye. I got it. Yes, I think I've heard of this man. I've seen this. Word has it. Now this is just the word. You got to be careful. The
Right.
word sometimes is not the bird. You know the old saying, right? He says,
No, I'm aware.
he's been spotted at in a couple different locations. Not only here at the what is it, Skyline?
Skydocks.
Not only here at the Sky Docks, but he's been spotted in 2 other locations. At one of the VANE labs. Actually, according to my notes, 3 of the VANE labs, and some military facility. I can't really. Hang on a second. He's going through his notes. So AP. Hang on a sec. Justin has to scroll through notes because he forgot the name of this place.
And I think, was it Jaden Foso? The name that we had for the person?
Oh yeah, what? Oh no, that was that. I think that was someone who did the notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a scientist. We don't know for sure if it was him.
AP Inc.
Okay.
So he's
Okay.
been spotted at a couple different locations, mostly VANE facilities, also the Skydock, as well as the advanced militaristic tech developments. But judging by this, of the 6 visits, 4 of those are at the VANE facilities on the west side, Plant 48.
Okay.
I hear that they they have some medical equipment there. One of many, but yeah. All right. Anyways,
I bet I know which lab he went into. If I had to take a wild guess.
I told you it was 48.
No, that's the plant, the actual lab. Which room?
Oh yeah, I don't. My details don't go that deep. But yeah. All
I
right.
have
So
an idea.
Obviously you're gonna pay me for the information. I haven't got your cred mode account slid yet. And I'm starting to get kind of nervous. Ravis, don't make me get nervous.
I'll pay you. I have another question.
Well, I already answered you one.
Well, no, I have another.
It doesn't work that way.
If you get paid, yes, it is.
No. I gave you information. Where's my 25 creds?
I hand him 25 creds over the fucking.
Over the credmo?
Yeah, over credmo.
All right. Pleasure doing business with you.
So I got one more question, if you can have it.
25 creds.
I sent him another 25.
Do you have 25?
I have no idea how much I have. I don't know how much everyone gave me.
Well, I think Stella said she was going to foot the bill. How much does Stella have left?
I mean, Stella can do it.
Stella fucking loaded. All right, says, all right. She sends it to you. You send it to him and says, ding, ding. All right, yeah. What's your question?
Jaden Fosso.
What
you
about
got
him?
on him? What do you got?
A
Description.
bioengineer. According, he starts typing in his keyboard or something. Bioengineer.
Any description? What's he look like?
I do not. He's a male. It says he's a beastman.
Okay.
I don't have much more than that, unfortunately.
There's nothing else on him? Okay.
Nope, he's a beastman. It says here. What was the name you gave me? I'm making sure.
Jaden Fosso.
Spell it. Jaden.
Yeah, JAIDENFOSSO.
All right. It does say here he is amphibious, so take whatever with whatever you want.
Amphibious beastman. That's a new one.
All right, but that's all I got for you.
He's a bioengineer.
He's a bioengineer, beastman, and amphibious.
Hmm.
All right, that's all I got, unfortunately, for you today, Ravis. Unless you got some other questions for me. All right.
Yeah, I think that's all I got for now. At least I don't want to spend too many of Stella's credits.
All right. Well, White Dragon.
Plenty of questions, but
White Dragon,
I
you
don't want to use all of them.
you toss on your equipment and you start making your way into the AP labs. You didn't have a way to get in. You see that there's a card pass. So during your stint over at the Blue Tapper, you went and visited for a little while and waited to find the right opportunity. And sure enough, that same old squid face guy about ready to run off. As he was about to run off with his meal, give me a sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand check coming up. That would be way higher than that. 11.
You're able to quickly swipe his badge from him, and you tuck it in, and you quickly make your way back to the main entrance in. You kind of put on your janitor's uniform, you swipe your card, you slide right in, and you spend some time cleaning out a couple johns, listening to people talk inside the bathrooms. You kind of are washing windows and capturing some information from the private rooms that are in there. And during your time there, you learn that AP Militaristics is developing a new type of explosive, as well as a new plasma technology. And one of these meetings or discussions that was actually being given by Lila, and had to do with a combination of diethylite comprised with deridium materials for optimal explosive impact. A new sort of weapon against Paragon level deviants. You know that the deridium is one of the materials commonly used in armor because it's so resistant, and the idea of putting it into a sort of cluster bomb could be devastating even to the strongest of deviant. This is certainly not a weapon based on what you overheard designed to maim, but to kill.
Checks out.
So, and you're able to kind of gather that information, as well as you do spot that, as usual, Lila at 1 o'clock is eating her lunch over at the Blue Tapper. Chimera, you wanted to sneak around and
Survey her.
So you actually do stumble across White Dragon in his outfit as you meet her at the Blue Tapper, and from there you take over surveillance. Once again, she's enjoying her lovely meal. Jane does come and say hi to you and remakes you the same meal you had asked about. Yeah, sorry. Turns out it's all microwave food, and they're just a microwave in the back.
Freaking
bad for
TV
business.
dinner cafe.
Right. It reminds me of the old Back to the Future where they put the little beads inside the container, put it in the thing, beep, and then it opens up and it's a Thanksgiving
Actually-
meal.
Actually, could I say that I was using a different disguise every time?
Yeah, if you want.
Let's see, what should I go for? Just for a quick run.
I didn't know it was going to take you 24 hours to decide. I thought you had something in mind.
You know what? Let's go with a middle-aged version of George Clooney.
Is his name Jorge?
No.
Why not? That's great. Because you know it's
Jorge
George.
Clooney.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Clooney.
go with Gregory.
Clooney.
Clooney. All right, so you take on this George Clooney-like facade, and you start kind of following behind her. She makes her way home. You're able to kind of dodge between and swerve between other people as she's making her way. She jumps into a very familiar vehicle, takes one of the cabs, and I already forgot the name. Skyline. Another Skyline vehicle. So you pick one up and jump in there. Hey, what's going on, fella? Hey, do I know you from somewhere? No, I thought I recognized you. You got a nice beard there, and it says Porco right in the or Porter right at the top.
Got a nice
Or
beard.
Porker, yeah. He's got his little face. He says, yeah, where to? You kind of just like, can you follow that car? He's like, what? That doesn't seem right. You gonna pay me, right? Like extra?
Yes.
He hits this thing again. You know, when I was younger, this thing used to work on the first try. He's bumping it a couple times. He starts hitting the gas a little bit. It sputters a little bit. I need to get those grav rings changed. It's just not working. Anyway, so he's able to kind of swerve and he keeps his distance. He gets close a little bit and he just honks just like any other cabbie to throw throw him off. You have him drop you off a couple blocks away from her house. She goes inside and you kind of spy overnight. You notice that one light in the room on the second floor one of the upper floors is left on all night, and then you make your way back. But before you do spot that she makes a quick errand around 8:30 p.m., 9 o'clock ish. She comes back out. She's on a motorbike, a hover bike. Looks like a motorcycle, but, there's no wheels. It's just like anti-grav rings. And she jumps on one and starts, driving away. And you try your best to keep up. You have to hire another cabbie, so you're going to lose 30 creds in chases today. You make your way and you notice twice, she doesn't stop, but she passes that warehouse twice with the circle and the star or the arrow-like fin design that you haven't met, but you recognize from the descriptions that White Dragon had given you. And she ends up going back, pulling into her little one motorcycle garage, and then heads off to bed, and you make it back home. Stella Nova, you were looking into information about the Kingpin, right? So you get in your device, you start, you go into your little private room, you got all your little tech, your nanites are running down your arm and into the socket, and you've connected this high-speed network. You start looking, you get a little bit of pieces of information, something about the Kingpin being tied to numerous different thieving rings or gangs. And then, unfortunately, this building is not designed to handle the high output of your nanites, and you blow out the power in the entire building for a short time because you rolled a 1. You overdid it, but you did learn that the Kingpin guy has been tied to several different thieving rings, and most notable are the events that happen near the waterways. Alrighty, and that will be the end of that. So at this point, the rest of the day has passed. This is the kind of the information you guys have gathered. I hope you were taking notes because I'm not going to repeat all that.
I have. Well, you guys were just off doing whatever.
Taking poops. So the next morning rolls around. It's been a long night. You guys had some minor success. The power is still out thanks to our genius hacker here who overloaded the system. At this point, Snitch and Rain are there when you guys awaken. Everyone kind of meets again in this this big room, and the lights are out, so the windows are wide open to provide light. And she looks at you all. So, what do we know, you guys?
She made her way over to the warehouse that White Dragon describes last night at around 8:30 to 9 via hoverbike. Things seemed quiet at her place. Her apartment is on the second floor of an apartment complex. And I sent over the address to Commissioner Jordan.
Huh. This is certainly the same place that White Dragon reported. So it's more than just the monthly visits. But you're suggesting she didn't actually go inside?
She parked the nearby parking garage. She said she went inside the warehouse, right?
No, she did not.
Yeah.
She just
She
drove
never
by
did.
him.
She just drove by it and parked at the nearest parking garage.
That's odd. Well, I mean, that's not really odd. She knows her daughter's there, but if she wanted to see her, why didn't she just go in?
Restricted access?
Maybe.
It'd be weird, though.
What else you guys find?
AP, not much. I mean, there's designing higher explosives for military use, but that's not really a shocker.
Mm-hmm. Though I think you said that they were designing them in a very destructive way with diethylite and deridium. That's not made just to, blow down the wall. That's meant to just shred through the wall and anything around it.
It's very dangerous.
Once again, working with the military, that seems like something that'd be on brand, so...
Yeah.
Not particularly suspicious.
Yeah. I have a feeling because of I know some guys who... I know of some people in VANE, and I tried to track down some higher ups to try and maybe get some information out of them at some point, but because I only had a day, I could only get so far. So far, I have a name, Jaden Fosso. He's a bioengineer, and he's an amphibious beast man. The engineer might lead to somebody else, though, who I'm mainly looking at for, but because my contact was one of my backups, he doesn't know the name of that man. But he is commonly found in the VANE facilities on the west side from the city, but apparently he went to some other places, such as AP Inc. at some point. I believe that's what we said.
Let's see here.
And then not much on the research front. It seems like
She looks around and says, obviously.
obviously.
Out of curiosity, when you say that he goes to some VANE facilities, are they by any chance on the 84th block?
You mean 48th?
No.
All I know is on Plant 48, but they just said west side facilities, unfortunately. I didn't get anything further than that. It was Dean Harlan, and unfortunately I don't really like talking
As a
to him.
player speaking, I heard 48.
We heard Plant 48. We didn't hear any blocks or anything like that. Know what
Right.
plant he frequented.
Side note, I'm playing from notes from issue 5, so.
So
Yeah.
I do want to point out that when when Ravis spoke to the guy, he got the second guy. Everyone give me intelligence checks, because I want your characters to figure this out. I don't want to just tell you.
Wow. 18.
6.
I'm sorry, 17. My intelligence is a -1 modifier.
Wah, wah, wah.
22.
Ooh, there they are. So immediately, Ravis, you and Stella Nova have kind of a light bulb moment as you realize, is it possible that the guy who had the eyes and stuff backwards also got the numbers backwards?
Like
So-
Plant
so-
84?
And 48?
Mm.
I mean, come on. What are the odds that I got the same 2 digits of all the numbers I could have picked, right?
Could be 84.
So the reason for that is it's going to lead to some potential. Are they 2 different places, or are they the same place and just mixed? We'll leave that open in the air, but I wanted you guys to come to that kind of conclusion based on the gentleman who you interacted with. He shared some information. So one is Plant 48, and the other one is the 84th block, which are just the 2 numbers reversed. So there could be something there. You suspect there might be, but the guy's information is semi-reliable, but doesn't mean he doesn't make a mistake, right?
Right.
You guys come to the conclusion that it may possibly be the same location, just identified differently.
Yeah.
But as for my reason of tracking this guy down, aside from some personal reasons, I'll admit, this guy is surprisingly hard to find. I have not struggled finding anybody as hard as this guy. I've found deviant fighting rings faster than I found this guy. And that's still hard. So I'm wondering how high in VANE he might be. And if he's pretty high in VANE, he might be closely related to the Kingpin.
Let's hope your search isn't in vain.
Oh.
Wah, wah, wah. All right. With that, the entire building rumbles and shakes. Some sort of powerful eruption or some such has come from the upper top of this building. The entire thing is trembling and shaking. You look out the window and you can see debris falling down. Instantly, Rain, Snitch, and Commissioner Jordan stand up on end. Are we under attack? Nobody should know. And they kind of
Possibly.
talk back and forth. Nobody should know we're here. And
Evacuate!
they look. They all 3 of them look at you guys. Was any of you spotted?
No.
No.
I literally just talked to Dean, that was it. And it was over some hologram. I never even
I was
left
in a
the place.
room all day.
Yeah. We were in a room all day.
And with that, the area begins to tremble and shake again. She says, well, we have to do something. We have to get out of here, or we have to figure out what it is. She says she gives both Snitch and Rain some commands to help evacuate anybody. And she says, we need to go figure out what that noise is. I'm going to go. Are you coming with me?
I'm
Yes.
gonna go.
And
Let's
and
do
I
it.
change appearance.
Yeah. I gotta remove some piercings real quick. Give me a second.
So
Shit's
see
about to
if
get
someone-
real.
Should we roll initiative because we didn't do it at the beginning?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I didn't even think about that.
I forgot. I was actually very behind in getting started.
18 for Demon Cloak.
Steve wants a cutscene to a deviant fighting ring.
Dragon volunteers.
Why?
Oh, I'm sure we have some
Why?
volunteers who would gladly go into
What
a
was
DP
Demon
fighting
Cloaks?
ring. 18. I did very well today. Yay. Yay.
All right. Anybody else?
How the
Seven.
bad guy's
The white
White
dragon.
Cloak has to put on his face.
Chimera got a 7.
That was pretty good.
What is with my initiative rolls?
Stella?
Seriously.
Stella got an 8.
Well, could be worse.
I feel like Ashley Johnson
White dragon.
from Critical Role.
13.
What?
13.
13? I wrote your name as White D. Whitey.
Oh, what are we to do with you,
I don't
Justin?
know. My brain is weird. All right, so Commissioner Jordan dashes out the door. She looks around. She looks at the elevator. She's like, better not. And then she runs all the way to the end of the hall and starts hiking up the stairs. You guys, it is about 15 floors to the top. The entire building is trembling and shaking. I need you guys to give me Constitution saving throws for the hike, unless you're flying. Who's flying? Somebody's always flying.
Oh, I can fly.
Okay, so
I
you
can
won't.
fly too.
If you're flying, you don't need to use make the check.
What check is it? I'm so sorry.
Constitution saving throw.
I'm
dang
fine.
it.
I'll do that real quick. I'll just take the check.
Okay.
I'll risk it.
Nope.
I don't want to use a power. I only got 2 slots to do that stuff. So I'd rather use my +6 modifier.
Am I cutting action? Give me any bonus?
No, this isn't about speed.
This is
but
about
what I am
trekking
gonna
a
do,
50-floor hike.
yes.
18.
So, but
Okay.
Built like a truck, baby.
because your speed is so high, what is your max speed if you're running and using all your stuff to run?
90.
90? Does
60.
anybody come close to that? We got 90 and 60. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you each. I'm gonna give a +5 to the initiative for Whitey, and a +3 to Chimera to offset the speed difference as you guys are roughing it up to the top. And so that'll
I rolled a 10,
reorganize.
by the way. On my
So
on my
you,
con-
you're running
on my
as
constant.
you're running as fast as you can. You're getting winded. The stairs. Clearly, you don't work these muscles enough, and you are going to suffer 1 level of exhaustion.
Oh.
I told you it's gonna hurt.
Okay, let me put that up.
So what did you get there, White D?
13.
Your mic always cuts off the first of whatever you say, so I hear it's teen.
13.
14? Okay. So basically it's only Chimera that suffers. Demon Cloak.
18.
Okay. So
+6.
Chimera, by the time you get to the top, you're breathing heavily. Up the center spiral of the stairs, there's big chunks of debris just falling. Whatever is up there is causing the entire building to shake and rumble, and you hear the whole thing is just trembling.
This is like a giant DRT.
The debris is just falling down. I need everyone to give me dexterity saving throws, please. On a failed save, the DC is 15, and on a failed save, you take 16 points of bludgeoning damage and
You
half
said
as
it was
much on
dex save?
Yep, 15. You'll take 16 points of bludgeoning damage and half as much on a success.
Holy shit, I took a lot.
I rolled a 15.
What if you get a natural 1?
I'm not gonna punish you extra. You already got a 1. You're gonna take 16 damage.
Yeah, I also
rolled
took
24,
16 damage.
so-
It's chill.
That's funny.
24.
Okay. Well, you heard the damage, so apply that, and now shit's about to get real. Are you ready?
Yep.
Oh, I probably should. I didn't actually add Commissioner Jordan to the list, to the initiative. Well, it
Oh,
doesn't
no.
matter. She's gonna go last. White D.
I also have my taser gun at the ready.
I just
That's
cracked my
cute.
knuckles.
His taser gun. That's cute. That's funny. Hey, Stella, you're not last.
Wow, a short improvement.
Not by much.
Right.
All right, so you reach the top of this. Commissioner Jordan, or not Commissioner Jordan. The first person would be up to the top. Demon Cloak's still gonna make it because that big bonus to initiative still didn't put White Dragon to the top. White Dragon pushes the door open, and right behind him is Chimera. The Chimera's sweat is just profusely running down his face.
In hero mode, by the way.
He says, "You're in what?
Hero mode, so you can't see his face technically.
What? Dude, it's flavor, man. You're shit. You're sweating because you're not out of shape. Of course, Steve says shapeshifting somebody fit, and maybe you won't be sweating."
I guess never really thought
Minus
about
25 cool points, Steve.
Here, take inspiration instead. All right, so the first person up the top of the stairs is Chimera, or White Dragon and Chimera. The doors bust open, and the first thing that you see, White Dragon, is this giant, like, robotic suit with, like, a clear window in it. And you see a goggle-faced, long-haired female. You can only see, like, her, like Batman, you can only, like, see this part of her inside this giant, like, robot thing. And this thing's got, like, big, giant, bulbous arms, and on it are several little, like, launch tubes. On its shoulders, it's got one big, massive cannon, and on the on the other one, it has, like, what looks like a satellite dish thingamabobber. You're not sure exactly what it is. And you see it releasing barrages of missiles all around the upper floor. And then it turns and looks at you, and with a very distorted but robotic style, almost like a echo through this thing. Think Iron Man from before they stopped giving him his regular voice, where he had that deep kind of echoey voice when he says he's all yours. That's the only time he ever does that. Like, what the hell? That was like my favorite part because of that. Anyways, and she says, "I hear you've been looking for us. Well, here I am." And she starts releasing a barrage. Even though I gave an initiative bonus to put White Dragon at the top first, he got moved up the list, but Demon Cloak is still first. So Demon Cloak, you finally catch up, and White Dragon and Chimera are standing there. You see this giant death bot thing with some person on the inside, and it's got all of its guns pointing towards you. And you guys are on like the 100th floor of this building. What are you gonna do?
What's the distance?
I'm gonna set the scene. The entire width of this building is probably, for the sake of battle, we'll say 100 feet. Though I imagine it's probably actually bigger than that. We'll say 200 feet. It's 200 feet from end to end. This person is a long distance away, probably about 100 feet. What are you gonna do? Die? You're probably about 90 to 100 feet away from this thing, and it's got all of its guns and widgets trained on you.
Okay. I'm gonna run straight at it.
Okay. That'll get you within a medium distance.
And then I'm going to use the dodge action as my primary action, and I'm just gonna stand there at 60 feet away. 60,
all right.
70 feet.
So, are you activating any of your powers or anything? Because you have some powers that are bonus actions, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say I do have some bonus action stuff, but let me see here. I can activate overheat, I guess. It's
all
there,
right,
but it doesn't effectively do anything at the
right,
moment.
but it makes you look cool. So a burst of black flames erupt from you, surrounding you like a dark Super Saiyan. And you hear a, "Ooh, that's impressive. You're gonna like my little friends," as the things begin to fire up. She says,
Give it a minute.
"Let me show you." and she releases barrages of these tiny little missiles that come flying at you. I gotta open my document real quick because apparently I closed it on accident.
Okay.
Document. He has a whole document.
Well,
I have a reaction for her once that's done.
okay. Okay. So after her attack hits,
Yeah, after the
Okay.
attack, yes.
so
Doesn't
all
matter if it hits or not.
a
after the attack.
barrage of missiles launch out from around you and all sink into you all at once.
Oh dear.
5.
Is this your adaptation of magic missile?
It's homing missiles, yeah.
Yeah.
8, 12.
Sounds like it's
That's
gonna
useful.
hurt.
Oh, that's not so bad. Wait. One more.
Also need to know the damage type.
13 fire damage.
I take
And,
half as much.
and I know you're giggling about that because you were talking about taking an enhancement or something for fire resistance, right?
Yeah. I needed it. I was like, I kind of stand in fire.
So
all day. I
as
kinda
these
need it.
missiles come launching out in barrage flying at you, they smash into you and you hear a cackle come, and then you just do the whole
Yeah, I just kind of
swipe
dust myself off
dust
real
yourself
quick.
off, and she says, "Oh, is that so?
It
a
is.
flame retardant deviant. That's not so uncommon. I've got something for you."
As she starts laughing, she sees the face of a demon erupt from 20, 30, 50 feet from my body, and I use Tormenting Agony on her as a reaction.
What is that?
And the
What the
target must
heck is
succeed on a
that?
wisdom saving throw or fall prone, becoming incapacitated and unable to stand for the duration. So hopefully she succeeds for her. What was the save?
I got a 14.
Ah, meet and beat. Damn.
Is it that
I had
close?
mine as a 14.
I thought
yeah.
I failed. So the thing comes out and you see the giant robot kind of step back a second. Or you see her face kind of twist and contort. And then she kind of does one of those kind of shuffling of the shoulders. You almost had me for a second. That's an impressive trick. Let me show you mine. And then you see
It would
the
give us at least one turn to run at her before
you
we
see
can
the
grab her.
you see the pilot inside the cockpit disengage her hand from some sort of mechanism and start punching in a bunch of buttons, and you see on the back there's these 6 little orbs that detach and come circling around, and she says, "Say hello to my little friends."
Oh, jeez.
And that is the end of her turn. White D, you are 90 feet away.
Problem.
Oh, Now he's close, right next to her. In fact.
Oh yeah, that's
If I
how far.
wanted
That's
to.
how fast you run if you use your bonus action, right? 90.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to move 60 feet up to her using cunning action to dash as a bonus action. Then I'll take the dodge action as my standard action.
Okay, so you're only gonna run 60 and then dodge. She says, "There's more of you than I anticipated, but it's nothing that I haven't calculated for."
Do they work for the DRT? They seem to have a surprising amount of information on us. Fuck, now we gotta take down the DRT. Great. Let's add that to our list.
Let's make sure it's clear. This isn't. If it is the DRT, it isn't something you've seen before.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's a female in the cockpit with big goggles, and she's got the kind of Batman mask on, so you can't see who she is. But she's certainly interested in you. Chimera, you're 90
Okay.
feet away. This ginormous mech thing with its pilot is staring you guys down, and it just released a barrage of missiles. 2 of your buddies
Yeah,
just
I feel
dashed
my-
in. What are you gonna do?
Okay, I succeeded.
Action. I am going to empower myself with bark skin. His body begins to electrify, and what appears it and you could see certain parts of his hero outfit is covered in various bits of bark.
Ooh, that's nice.
And
Okay.
and then he is going to dash somewhere off to the side. Coming at a wide angle.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 60 feet to get close.
Okay. Still leaves you a short
And-
distance away.
Well, if you're cutting wide, then
It would
I don't know
actually
if
be
you quite
farther
make it
away.
60.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
farther away than that, but I wasn't gonna. Yeah, if you're gonna
And
go
that's
wide
the
and
end of
keep your distance, it'll probably leave you a medium distance away still.
Yeah. So that's the end of my turn.
Okay. So you quickly dash, and as you hit forward, and your two buddies in front of you are dashing towards, you kind of scurry to the side and do a wide arc coming in on her left. Stella,
My
you kind.
AC My AC is 17 if I read the
Yep,
this
you
version
did.
of Barkskin.
Yeah, I made it stronger because it was sucky.
Thank you,
was like,
benevolent overseer.
Nobody ever takes it because it's like 16 is easy to get, but 17 is a little more difficult, especially if you're going to spend a precious resource on it. All right. I just hurt my ankle. Stella,
Sitting.
well, I don't know if you know, but I'm actually reclining and I got a thing for my feet up, but I was stretching my ankle and it went and popped and hurt. Because that's how when I'm getting old, I hurt myself just sitting.
It's the worst.
All right, so Stella, you saw three of your buddies have dashed forward. You got White Dragon out front, followed by Chimera, and your buddy Chimera has taken a roundabout route, dashing behind a couple of the big building vents and shit debris that's on the top of roofs, fans and stuff, big giant ones.
I'm pretty easy to see. I'm like a giant light bulb made of darkness.
Okay.
Well, I am flying. And
I guess you can just do that now.
yeah, I can just do that now. No, I've got kind of anti-gravity on the suit, so it's not like Iron Man flying. It's like anti-gravity hovering.
Mm-hmm.
Which is way cooler than just thrusters, by the way.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I was
Way
thinking.
more control.
So I'm gonna fly as close as I can, which isn't gonna be, what did you say, 90 feet away or something
Yeah,
like
she's
that?
not. This
Yeah,
giant
like
mech
100.
thing is 90 feet away.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to fly close, as close as I can. I think it's my running speed is 30 feet, so I'm assuming it's gonna be similar flying.
Well, if you use the fly power, I think it's faster than that.
Is it?
Fly power right now is 40 feet
Yeah, it's a little bit
for
faster.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll do that then. So I'm gonna get closer.
concentration.
What did you say?
No concentration.
No concentration.
That's the difference. It
Because
only
you can only use
affects
it on yourself.
it only affects you. It's a little bit slower, and it doesn't require concentration. So I made some adjustments to fit the fact that it was for one person.
Cool. And then I am going to use my bonus action first of which is prediction. So prediction lets me see kind of weaknesses and gives me advantage on my attack.
Nice.
And then I am going to use kinetic blast. So that will be attacking at advantage then. Let's see, there we go. All right, so that is a 21 to hit.
Yes.
All right, so I am going to upgrade this. So kinetic blast gets stronger, doubly stronger at level 5. So I get 2 beams instead of 1. So that's 2d10. I am also going to overcharge it.
I was wondering if you were ever going to use that. I don't think
Yes.
you've used it yet, and you get it at like level 3? Level 1?
I've had it for a while. I just haven't had the opportunity to use it yet. So I am overcharging these kinetic blasts, which gives me an extra. Let's see. Extra damage is 2d8 for a first level power reserve. Yep. So 2d10.
You're not at a first level power reserve.
Yeah, we're at 3 now.
You're at 3.
We're
It
at
scales
power level
with
3.
you. Think warlocks, how you're always at max casting level. Because that was the
Gotcha.
template that it was based off of. So
That's
as
why
you
flying
get
is 40
stronger,
feet instead of 30.
yeah, and as you get stronger,
Alright.
so does your power. So it'd be higher than that, whatever the bonus is.
Gotcha. So plus 1d8 for each reserve level higher than first.
So that would be 4d8.
So 4d8. I don't know that I have 4d8s, but
Well, you can roll 1 4 times.
that's what I'm gonna do.
That's
what I'm
how
gonna
we
do.
that's how we old school people do it. Back when I was a kid and only had one set.
Plus, I get agonizing blast, which adds another d4. So
Pretty good.
here we go.
About to tear up my shit.
Oh, all right. So now I have to do math. Give me 2 seconds as I add them up.
Ah, yes, it's my favorite part of D&D. Math. Oh, man. That's awesome.
20 plus another 23 damage.
Damn. She came in like a wrecking ball.
Yeah, so Stella just flew right in,
So-
put out both of her hands and just shot kinetic blasts directly at this.
So these massive bursts of energy come leaping out of your hands, and just streaking like lasers. And at the last second, that little satellite dish kind of and points in front, and a barrier forms. And as it smashes into the barrier, you see energy kind of disperse and go into the back and kind of get absorbed, but several bolts of it still smash into it, and you see it stumble and little chunks come flying off. But you see the energy kind of rumble through it and power up and then go into the other blaster that's on its shoulder, and you see it glowing. You don't know what it did. You don't know what technology it used, but you certainly see that part of your attack was absorbed and is now charged up.
Just absorb elements as a fucking satellite dish.
Well, it's a little bit different than it's absorb energy. So it does radiant, it does kinetic, it does force, it does radiant, and it does there was one more, thunder.
A little bit different, yeah.
It's a little bit different, but it gets some of the ones that absorb elements doesn't, right?
Yeah.
So absorb energy. Anyways, so the energy gets absorbed and the cannon starts thrumming with power, and you hear "You scratched my suit, but thanks for the ammo." So she took half damage, bringing that down to 12. Which means it's boosting the next attack she does by 12.
It's gonna hurt.
I feel bad
I'm
because
thinking
that
to
was
myself, like, no.
that was like so epic for her to come in, but it's almost unfair when the enemy knows what
we
you
can
can
do.
do, isn't
Yeah.
it?
It's like,
that's why it's hard.
it's like the beginning of an anime battle where they like have to take out the the power move.
They're like, oh wait, shit. The enemy
alright.
knows us. We gotta think
So
outside the box.
Jordan runs up and she says, "Oh my God!" She yells, "We can't let the battle continue up here. The whole building will come crashing down on top of the people. Can you pull her away? We got to do something."
You want to try and pull a giant mech? What's wrong with you, lady?
She
Do you say that?
she runs over.
Yeah, why not?
And-
Fuck it. Maybe it's just like, what the fuck's wrong with you, dude?
She runs over and ducks behind
There's still
a
just
fan.
people.
And you hear she puts her hand up and starts making a call. Rain, Stitch, how long before you can get everyone evacuated out here? There's Hang on. I gotta check something.
Had Rain be an Australian accent person.
What's that?
Rain was had an Australian accent to remind you.
Yeah, I'm not super good at that, so.
We're just gonna ignore that for now.
Well, I'm not even gonna talk. She's not even gonna talk. She's just talking privately.
Yeah, she's just.
I'm not gonna slow down
giving orders.
combat with that. So, she says they got a V6 3800 bomber up here. Bomber bot.
What's the size category, out of curiosity?
Large. Huge, sorry.
Okay.
It's big.
Forgot that
And
much
she
out.
says, and the roof has been damaged severely. It could collapse at any moment.
Oh, it's a good thing I can fly, I guess. Sorry for you guys.
And she says, if you can't move her, you have to stall her, draw her fire.
I don't think there'll be a problem.
She already kind of doesn't like us.
It'll take at least 3 to 10 minutes to get everyone evacuated. We cannot let this continue. Yeah. And she says,
Oh dear.
I'll do what I can. I'll see what I can do to draw support. And she opens up she holds up her hand like this and turns it, and her ring kind of expands into a nanite glove, and she starts kind of moving her hand almost as if she's pushing buttons invisibly. And these drones, 4 of these drones, come out from the side of the building. They look like little, almost like X-fighters. Like X-Wings from Star Wars, and they hover around you. Basically, what this means is you get an extra D4 on your. Hang on, let me check. Hang on a second here. Oh, so what the hell? So what it does, it's the Bardic Inspiration, and it gives you a D6 on your dice. And what that dice can be used for people who don't know what Bardic Inspiration does, within the next 10 minutes, if you you can roll a D6 and add the number rolled to one ability check, an attack roll, or a saving throw. The creature can wait until after you roll the d20 to know, but before the result is decided. So basically, she just granted you all Bardic Inspiration, which takes on the form of these little drones that will either help you attack, giving you a bonus, or shield you for defense. All right, and she's going to stay hidden behind there because she don't want to fucking die. Top of the initiative, we are, the whole building is beginning to rumble, and one of the little tiny, or one of the big balls that detach from her, as a lair action, begins floating over towards you. They can move up to 10 feet. No, 30 feet. I don't know why I thought that. 10 feet. They move to 30 feet, and the first one gets right in between, because both Demon Cloak and White Dragon were both ran directly towards her, right? And stopped at 60 feet?
Mm-hmm.
So
I
they,
stopped at 30 feet.
You stopped at 30
Hey,
feet.
he's up at 30.
Okay, so it's going to get, well, if there's 30 feet between the two of you, and it moves to the middle of you, it still has a 20-foot radius. So it explodes, and it's still going to hit both of you with the fireball effect.
Oh, yeah, I guess. It's like it'd be like a 40-foot diameter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the big giant orb floats in front of you as a lair action and releases a powerful explosion. The ground begins to tremble and shake all around you, and you take 26 points of fire damage after you give me a dex save.
26, huh?
Yeah.
Both of
there's
them?
Yeah.
Whew, I'm failing that. That's 13. I would have been all my health if I didn't have resistance.
Well, even with the Bardic Inspiration, I'm not going to make that.
All right.
Much?
That's 26 fire damage then.
60 down to 10.
As it explodes, and you see the whole ground begin to ripple and begin to fall apart.
This ain't good at all.
I can heal myself. Kind of alright.
Yep.
I think both of us have cure wounds.
All right, I need anyone trained in technology to give me an intelligence check.
That would be our genius exosuit over here.
Is
It sure as hell ain't me.
is it just her? Is Stella
Yeah.
the only one that has trained in tech?
Yeah.
Probably.
So,
What'd you get?
you know what? Since we're right here, I'm gonna use an adept point to go along with it. That's an extra d6.
Okay.
All right, so that is a 22.
So you immediately
The 22s tonight.
as this thing explodes, you realize that it's likely easily combustible. So with a good precision hit, you can probably control it and trigger it, or you can hack into it and make it work for you. Obviously, just shooting it with something that explodes is probably going to be easier. But there's also a risk with that, right? You're trying to keep the building from exploding, so you have to try to find a balance. Either take control of these things and prevent them from exploding, or explode them where they're at before they all leave this robotic body and take it with them. Either way, you've got quite the challenge ahead of you. Demon Cloak.
I got to roll for concentration. I made it. Cool. Okay. Holy shit. So these things are these orb things are just kind of floating around her head, right?
Well, they came off her back and detached. Think of them as like tiny powder kegs, right? Except they're orbs of technology Volt Orb, floating Volt Orbs.
And they just kind of float around her.
Yep, until she commands them as her lair action.
Now are they like behind her? And
Yep, they're behind her, but it's not. I'm not gonna prevent line of sight if you want to try to target them, though they will get cover, right?
I'm going to do something ballsy. I'm gonna run.
Oh.
I'm gonna.
Did you say ballsy because they're round? Because that's funny.
But no, because I'm gonna get caught in a fireball in a hot second here. I'm gonna use my movement, then I'm gonna dash, so I'm within melee range. I go, and I telekinetic.
Oh,
pull.
hang on.
Oh, no.
You ran towards it? Ran towards the mech?
Yeah, of course I run towards the mech.
When you do, you hear a thumbling, rumbling, and you see just a hint of a smirk on her face before the ground drops out below you. I need you to give me a dexterity saving throw to see if you can avoid it. Don't worry, it's super easy. You can make it to DC 12. You got this.
Nope. I got a 6.
Oh my god.
I've been rolling like
Serious?
5s and 6s on all my dex checks.
So all of the explosions you heard were her weakening the ground, right? And she set a trap. So you fall down 10 feet. Now you can still see the person, but you just fell through to the floor below, and you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall down, and the black you hear. I'm so gonna kill you all.
All right. How close am I still?
I would say it was about halfway, so I would say you're within 10 feet, but you're 10 feet down. You're on the floor below her.
Oh, good thing it's 20 feet. So I'm gonna yoink one of those ball things straight towards her head. Has to survive a strength saving throw.
Well, that's going to be pretty easy. It's going to fail, so you smash it into her.
Yep.
And it smashes into her, and let's see if she She gets a little foot forward and stumbles forward almost towards the hole where you're standing, but catches
That would've been bad
herself.
for me. I didn't really think that far
Yeah, well,
ahead.
I figured it would be a strength check. Like I treated it like shove, right?
Yeah.
And she stumbled forwards and catches herself.
It's
She says,
15 foot of basically getting something thrown at you. So.
"Yeah." It smashes into her, stumbles her. She says, "Fool! How dare you scratch the paint?"
It didn't blow up. That's not good.
No, it did
Very
not.
knockout.
I did have it deal damage to it though, and there are a few dents in it from the impact. What else you
This ain't
got?
good. That was all my actions. So
Isn't
currently-
the pull a bonus action?
Yeah, but I had to dash to get to where I was.
Oh, that's right. You had to dash. Okay.
It just occurred to me that I used a dodge action.
Yeah, that gives you advantage on dexterity saving throws.
Oh yeah,
And I will-
fuck. I was dodging too.
That gave
Go
me a
ahead.
19 then.
Then go ahead and
I'll
re-roll
roll
and just
again.
make it half damage. It's fine.
No, but I still failed. Doesn't matter. It was
I failed you as an overseer to know that. I forgot about that. I mean, I knew you dodged, but I forgot that it gave advantage to dex save.
Yeah.
It do, because I almost never use it with my characters.
No, that was a good time to use it too. Fireball to the face. So you did witness a little bit of damage to it, and you see sparks kind of fluttering off of it. Anything else?
I don't think I have any movement left, I would assume.
Well, you only moved 15 feet and you dropped in. So you moved half your
Okay.
movement. So you still have half your movement. It's enough to get to with an athletics check to get up back to the next floor.
I'm gonna kind of duck under, try to gain some cover.
As you try
Assuming
to,
I
yeah, you can move and take cover. You quickly dash underneath, and as you take cover behind what looks like in a little area with a bathroom, you see a crushed-in bathtub with a big and smaller arm hanging out the side.
Huh.
As because you fell into an apartment building.
Kind of messed with the water taps a little bit.
right.
Nope, they don't work. It's all gone.
Never mind the arms dangling outside, right? Anything else?
Is it moving? Is it struggling?
No, they're lifeless arms now. White dragon.
Might take a credit card real quick. You're dead. I need creds.
Wow. Okay. First off,
Wow.
I'm gonna try to get close to the mech, even though I know that she damaged the roof now.
So you'll still have to make a saving throw, but we'll grant you advantage since you're being cautious.
Okay.
It's a 12, I think, is what I said. I think I wrote.
Oh yeah, I beat that.
So as the ground begins to kind of cave out from underneath you, you jump left and right and are able to avoid it swiftly as you can feel it crumbling below you.
Okay. This action, I'm gonna use Hunter's Mark on the mech.
Okay.
Alright. Now time to punch.
Cool.
Alright, does a 17 hit?
No.
Oh, that ain't good.
Well, that ain't good. Yeah, I agree. No. Huh.
In that case, I'll use the Bardic Inspiration.
Okay. That'll do it.
Okay.
Well, we can't know after the roll's decided, right?
Yeah, I slipped up, but I'm not gonna hold that against you guys. I don't really care. But you're right. That's technically how it's supposed to work, which is why I worded it that way. But I already told him it could, so I'm not gonna hold it
All right.
against you this battle.
And besides, this is a playtest series.
I want to
All
see
right.
you fight my stuff.
Alright, I'll be hitting for math time. 18 damage.
Me
What?
too.
Bludgeoning damage?
My fist, so 18.
Okay.
Second attack. At 20.
Woo! I need
Someone-
I need a button that does the old Batman pow.
And I took the brutal critical enhancement. So...
Nice touch.
And he's gonna fucking smash through the whole glass
let's
thing
just-
and grab her by the head.
Let's just take a moment to note that he just punched a giant piece of battle equipment.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was going to do.
I assume we're using regular crit rules.
Yes.
Okay. Fortunate. 4, 9, 13, 19.
Woo.
I just did 1 more damage when I didn't crit, just saying.
Yeah,
All right. Anything else?
Action surge.
There it is. He's like, I ain't even messing around. I'm coming like a wrecking ball.
I just really want to
My
imagine
luck
you just
only
like
gets a 1 round, so
just
let's make it
punched through
count.
the glass and just fucking grabbed her by the head and just punched her in the face.
Friggin' Super Saiyan.
Yeah. He is the ninja of the group.
Okay,
Very good at martial
19 to hit.
arts. Said 19.
Yes. It's 18.
So it's
so-
more.
13 damage.
How much?
13.
Jesus Christ. Your fists are strong as fuck, dude.
That's my Chuck Hunter's mark.
Yeah, the hunter's
Oh,
mark
man.
helps, plus the extra attack.
No, he's less like an actual ninja and more like Ryu Hayabusa, which looks like a ninja, but not
isn't
very stealthy
actually.
and just kind of fucking kills everybody before everyone knows.
Alright. And that's going to be a 22 to hit.
Yes.
7 damage.
Fucking hell. Just fucking blasted this thing.
All right, so
It's like a monk going.
is yours
blowing
like
a blows hundreds.
just a few big strong punches, or do you envision like a bunch of hundreds of little weaker punches? Like,
I'm totally picturing Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star here, man.
yeah. So you're almost like you're jumping side to side, left to right. You are just start sending a barrage of blows, kicks, punches, kicks, elbows, tiger knees, all of it as you hit this and start denting parts of the armor. The thing begins trembling and shaking. You can see the woman's face inside contort as red lights are flashing inside her control panel and everything. You see a little, like a hologram version of her mech with like glowing like red and yellow spots flashing.
I just want to imagine your character's not actually a demon, but just a ridiculously like trained human who's really strong at the same time.
Exactly what he is.
She
He's not actually a deviant.
anything else for you?
Just science hasn't been able to figure out what the fuck's going on.
She says, I was prepared for that. My turn. Compliments of your friend. As the big charged cannon points directly down at you.
You're like,
Friggin' anime moments right here.
I say don't miss.
Well, it's supposed to be. So,
don't miss.
17.
This is.
Oh, that's not great.
Oh, because I
what
used
about
my
the-
reaction to counter a strike.
Of course you do.
Oh god. It just gets worse for her.
Right? Go ahead and give me an attack.
Oh, are you kidding?
Oh, it's gonna be a miss.
So as you go
Get a
to
dodge
punch,
laser, it's okay.
as you go to punch and smash into her, a little like barrier, kind of like a crackling weak shield, kind of breaks under your fist, but it doesn't. You don't actually connect. She's gonna make another attack with her blaster for 26.
Okay.
I'm sorry, dude. That will be 4d10 plus 6.
Okay.
A lot.
That's 8,
It's gonna hurt.
15,
Oh,
I can use
21,
the action surge.
Yeah, it's true. You had 10 HP, so you really made it count.
20, 24. Oh, no, I gotta go check the ruling on that power really quick, because,
oh no, the buff.
yeah, I don't know if it counts.
Given my had more health after we realized I only took half damage, so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It hurts.
No, it's the next attack, and since that one missed, it's not going to apply.
Okay.
Because I did miss. So she basically,
On the
the turret
energy
comes
transfer.
down, yeah. The torrent comes down. It's fully charged. You can see this energy crackling around it, and and you twist and Neo Matrix out of the way as it blasts between your legs and puts a massive hole right in the ground, and you hear as it charges up again, and you look up, unfortunately not quick enough, as it quickly releases another one. The impact isn't nearly as strong, but it smashes into you anyway. And I need you to give me a strength saving throw on top of that damage. DC 15 or be knocked prone.
And I roll a 16.
Woo!
Nice.
Nice. So the blast hits your body and you skid backwards, and your feet drag on the ground, and you hear, not bad. Almost a moment of respect for you. Says
I feel being attacked by Steve, by the way.
Matthew, Neo Matrix. Yes, you need to see the Matrix. It is now Chimera's turn.
How much damage did I take in the first place?
Oh shit, I don't remember. It's 23, 24?
22.
Go with 22, that's fine. I don't remember what it was. I roll it and I say it, and I hope you're paying attention when I do.
Well, it's then that you're adding up the math as you're rolling dice.
Well, yeah, and then when I just add it as I go, and then I stop, but I forgot. We'll say 22 for now, unless somebody in the audience was paying attention. All right, Matthew, you just saw this thing release a big blast. You saw it, its little satellite absorb energy. The little big giant orbs that are floating around blow up. The area around you is crumbling. You know that it caves in. It dropped your pal into the ground. What are you going to do?
I am. How far away am I?
You are a medium distance because you went around the outside.
Right.
The ground is actually much more sturdy where you're at.
Okay, so I'm going to, but even so, I'm still going to move 30 feet closer. Still circling around.
Okay.
And I remember that part where she absorbed Demon Cloak's damage. No,
Nope,
not
wasn't
Demon
my
Cloak.
damage.
It wasn't his. It was
Stella
Stella Nova's beam.
Yeah, Stella Nova's attack. I lift up my left hand. Crackling lightning energy begins to appear, and he's gonna do 2 lightning strike attacks because I now have extra attack.
Ooh, fancy.
Yes. So 2 lightning strikes at that particular part.
Ooh, you want to try to fry the system?
Why are you using to attack exactly?
Huh?
Are you using to attack exactly?
Lightning strike, I believe is what it's called.
Can you do that? That's not an attack. That's a power.
That's what I was asking.
It's an at-will power.
Right, but it's not an attack action.
Yeah.
It is
so,
an attack action.
hang on a second. No, powers are different. They scale up, but they don't count as count as an attack. Think of it as like a spell. When extra attack doesn't apply to a spell, but you should have an increase in what your spell can do now, which is either range, power, or some other BS spiel.
It does 2d6 damage, hit a target, surge of lightning leaps to other creatures within 5 feet of the target. Each creature must succeed on a dex saving throw. They can't take reaction until this next turn.
Yes. So for you, if you do that,
advantage on the attack.
it'll jump to
Who's
the
wearing armor.
orbs, for instance, right? So it'll hit him for 2d6, and then I'll have to make a save for the little orbs. Oh my god, I'm going to have to make a save for the little orbs.
All of them. All of them. Because they're all within 5 feet.
But yes, extra attack is only for attacks. Just like in D&D 5e, the extra attack is for guns, weapons, punches. And then you've got the powers that are more like spells, and they evolve and get stronger as you level up. At level 5, that not only does it do more damage, but now it jumps or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can do 2 lightning strikes?
No, you only have the one.
Oh, I gotta make a save too, don't I?
Yes. So lightning strike.
I'd still say do it.
It deals at level 5. It deals 2d6. When you hit a target, a surge of lightning leaps to other creatures within 5 feet of the target. So yours...
There's a lot of people currently.
Yes, your power doesn't do as much damage singly, but it can target and hit many things.
Oh, so
it's a minion clearer, basically, right? You can clear out cronies and henchmen and stuff.
All right. So it's just one attack.
One attack roll, but you're gonna hit.
Okay.
You're gonna hit the big Mac guy, and then all the targets around him have to hit a save.
Including me.
Specifically, the energy absorbing part.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be clear. 5e has no specific targeting rules, so that really doesn't
Even if it's
make
a huge
difference.
creature.
Yeah, it doesn't. There's no rules. That's not true. There are extra supplement rules, but those aren't included in the rules. There is no called targets. But what I will tell you I will do, his power recharges on a 5 or a 6. So if you hit him, because I'm a benevolent overseer, I will make it only recharge on its turn on a 6. Okay?
Okay.
If you hit.
You can make it if it fails the dex save.
Well, do you hit it in the first place?
Right, that's what I said. You gotta hit first.
You have advantage because it's
I
made
do?
of metal. Yeah, it's made
Yep.
of metal.
Oh.
Yeah, and you have Bardic Inspiration. Don't forget that too.
Natural 20.
Oh, there it is. See, advantage. It's always good for you. Oh, unless it's the enemies, then it's not good.
So
for
that's 12 plus 2d6.
you. Are we going regular crit rules or homebrew crit rules?
Killer.
Regular. That's what he
So
asked
no,
about
it'd be-
earlier.
26.
So that's 3d6 points of lightning.
That I actually changed it in the actual rules, though, for the rules that I wrote for this. It's our rules, not the regular ones.
Okay.
But we're already playing with the regular ones, so.
Mm-hmm.
That's 7 points of lightning damage.
On a 2d6?
On 4d6?
Yeah, you have 4d6
46.
right now. Yeah, because you crit. So it's 2d6 plus 2d6. You crit.
I thought. Wait, I'm
The
confused.
damage is increased
Why
to
are you
2d6
confused?
at level 5.
Well, let's see why he's confused. Are you confused because you don't know how much damage your power does?
Well, it's 2d6 that I
Right.
know.
You crit.
And then you
But you
said you
crit.
got a 20, which is a crit, which is double damage dice.
Double damage dice.
Yes.
46.
So you have 4d6 now.
I thought it was just an extra damage dice.
No, it's
Nope.
double damage dice.
So that was 7.
It's better than that.
5.
It's his confusion.
So that's 12 points of lightning damage.
That's better.
Better. And they all have to roll dex saves.
Oh, God.
Well, the mech
my
can't.
my
the mech-
DC overseer is 13.
It doesn't matter.
How good I make
They're-
it?
They got the things have a 10 flat, and I rolled a 3, a 2, a 6, a 9, and an 11. Oh, there's 6 of
deck-
those. Didn't I? Did I say 6?
I think so.
Should be one more. Hey, one succeeded.
Oh,
Dex save is also just so they can take reactions, and the mech cannot take the reaction because it was the direct hit of the attack.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they all took 12 lightning damage. Hooray! That one that's probably weak is probably going to explode. And that's gonna
So
cause a
you
lot more
guys see
explosion.
lightning crackling and bouncing around these things and leaping from one to another, and you can see the person in the mech suit frantically running around, pushing buttons, flicking switches, everything that she can do. She's frantic right now.
And can I say something as a free action?
Sure.
Think of your daughter, Enaren, and then I wild shape into an electrified brown bear.
For a second there, I thought you were gonna say you shapeshift into her daughter. I was like,
No!
hey, God.
That would have been fucking brutal.
So savage.
Something I would do. That's something Matt would do.
So you see inside the cockpit, you see her stutter for a second and stop moving.
Uh-oh. Now she's gonna die because she's gonna blow up.
All right. It's only for an instant. Almost a reaction because of the lightning. Okay. Anyway, anything else from Chimera?
Really? None of them blew up, huh?
No.
No, they don't
What
take.
they-
They don't
take damage.
They don't take damage from it. They only can't take reactions. There's no damage from the jump. So it
Yeah.
says it leaps from the target,
Oh, you're right. Yep.
but that
This
might be
isn't
something
called
that I might change though.
Okay. That makes more sense.
I might change it. I might change it to like half damage or something. We'll see.
I had my turn saying what I said and wild chip into a brown bear.
Electrified brown bear.
Yes.
Okay.
Just for flavor.
I kind of want to make a static bear now. Stella, all this action is going on beyond you, around you. You just saw Chimera release crackling energy that has stunned, has shocked these this giant robot and its little sentient things, or little robots. And you've seen Chimera shout out her name, and you've seen the pilot stop moving for just an instant, and then Chimera turn into a bear. What do you do?
I need to ask you a technicality question based on the way the rules are written.
Yep.
On kinetic force field, you say that the gadget creates a 10-foot radius. Did you mean radius or did you mean diameter? Radius is half of a diameter.
Yeah, no, I
20 feet.
I got that. I don't know. What is the name of this power?
Kinetic force field.
Medic force field?
Kinetic.
Kinetic. There it is. Range is 10 feet. 10-foot radius. Yeah, that's in a 20-foot cylinder. Yes, that's right.
All right. So, with that being the case, I am going to use my flying speed to get within a 10-foot radius of this this machine. And I am going to shoot out the kinetic force field around the mech.
You're just trapping it in there. That's funny.
I think that has to be inverted, right?
Yes, it will be an inverted kinetic force field.
Okay, so it keeps everything in, not keep things out.
Correct.
Fuck. And there's no save or anything for that. It just brings into existence.
It just happens.
Creatures can't leave it.
What's it?
Can't teleport.
Mm-hmm.
Has disadvantage on attack rolls. Targets.
They're celestial, deviant, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead.
Yeah. And there's a deviant in there.
Yeah, that's that was my assumption.
Fuck.
I'm gonna have so much fun pulling one of those fucking balls and blowing it all up and be all contained in there.
You certainly have a thing for balls tonight.
Well, that's kind of what I have to fight. You keep throwing these balls at me, so I think you're the one obsessed with balls, apparently.
This is 20 feet around and 20 feet tall.
Oh my god. I don't know what I'm
10
gonna
feet
do.
around and 20 feet tall.
All right. So this kinetic blue and purplish force field just springs into existence around this giant mech and all the little orb things inside of it. And you see it like smashing and blasting and punching, and it's just and it's you can see franticness in her face now as she's trying to bust and break free, and that lasts for an hour.
A whole hour.
Is White Dragon in there?
Oh no.
Wait.
I think a huge creature is 10 foot, so I would say he would be just
thought he would
outside
not
of it.
be. Yeah.
That's not how you position it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of want to lock you in there just because I want to punish you for beating the shit out of my robot. But
So weren't we just talking about what deviant cage matches earlier today?
Yeah.
we were.
Joke's on you. I'm not a deviant.
He just leaves. He just walks out, and you're like, everyone is in shock, just like, what do you mean he's not a deviant? It'd be funny.
I guess technically you can still attack, but it is disadvantage.
Yeah. She might end up trying to do that anyway. But she's pounding on it left and right, trying to get out. Yeah. I'm at a loss for words at the moment.
This is incredibly powerful.
Yeah. And yet nobody ever takes it. Magic Circle is hands down one of the most potent spells in the game. I mean, it's still a 3rd level spell power, but that's all that is a mechanical version of that spell.
Yeah.
With the deviant feature added, right? Because, superheroes. All right. So at this point, anything else, Bastard? I mean, Stella?
No, I think that's it. You do you not think that's enough, Justin?
Oh, I think I'm okay.
Yeah, that's it.
And only one of those balls can take reactions.
All right, so at this point, Jordan kind of walks over. The creature is still releasing missiles and stuff. I'm gonna ask you guys directly before we just move on. You've got her trapped. Do you want to try to just beat her into submission, or exit the combat round and try to figure out what else to do while she's stuck in here?
First, I would suggest to Stella Nova to try and deactivate the little orbs. Or
And if
disarm them.
They're trapped. I mean, like, what can they do?
Like they're inside the cylinder?
Yeah, they're all
They're part of her
Everything is
space. Yeah, they share a space with the
which is why I'm gonna yoink one of the bombs.
VS-3800 bomber.
And I'm gonna
what did I
fucking
say?
obliterate everything in
Bomber
there.
bot. So, I don't know. Can you attack it from the outside though?
Yeah.
It'll be a
Yeah.
disadvantage.
It'd be at
I'm not
disadvantage.
attacking it.
though. Yeah, yeah. All right, so
I'm just yoinking something in there. I'm just going.
okay. She says, "Can you keep her contained for at least 5 minutes so the innocents can evacuate?"
We
Oh
can
yeah, this
certainly
thing's got
try.
a whole hour.
Okay. All right.
Wait, whoa. Okay, I'm gonna be a huge buzzkill here. Let's read the stat block for Kinetic Force Field. The activation time's 1 minute.
Oh yeah, it's not one action.
Wah wah wah. I'm gonna say let's go ahead and just go with it the way it is now, and we will. I don't want to retcon that because that was a brilliant move.
Yeah.
You were a sorcerer for half a second, and you quick casted it.
Sure.
But yes, I see now that it's got an activation time of 1 minute.
That kind of makes sense.
That makes
Now
it
that
that makes
about
it far less powerful. You need to plan in advance. All right, so
Yeah, for sure.
all right, so we're gonna go ahead and continue in initiative for now until you guys decide to take any more actions. Once again, Jordan is gonna reach out and she moves her hand a little bit, and the drones re-surround you and power back up or whatever. And you guys have the effects of the Bardic Inspiration again, each of you. And top of the
I
initiative.
use mine.
Huh?
I never use mine.
Yeah, but
It's still
just
there. It's
refreshes
just
still.
flavor. It's fine.
Yeah.
Several of us have.
I believe it's my turn.
It is. My brain stopped functioning completely for a second there. Top of the initiative is the lair action.
You want to blow up one of those in there?
No, I don't.
Do it.
Does it have a roof though? It just says it's a cylinder. Does that mean it's got like a top and a bottom?
There. Well, as far as it goes, it doesn't say that there's a roof or a floor.
To me, a cylinder would imply that,
Why
though,
that?
wouldn't it?
Yeah, I would agree with that. But
Yeah.
I mean, a cylinder is still just that. I mean, a toilet paper tube is still a cylinder, right?
It's a
Yes.
tube in that cylinder.
Yeah, we'll go with it's got a roof. So they start poking around and they are trying to like get out, but I'm gonna say that your power has pretty much negated that thing's ability to use its lair action. So the hell out of here with that shit. All right, what are you gonna do there, Demon Cloak?
Okay, one sec. Sorry. I kind of appear out from, I kind of crawl back up
From
and
under the
look
rubble.
At yeah, and I go look at this giant circle. I'm like, whoa.
Credits are falling out of his pocket. Little cards.
Oh, yeah, I don't know how
Treadmill
much I got
cards.
out of that person, but whatever. I'll think about that later. Pickpocket the dead real quick. We gotta make money somehow. My job doesn't pay me.
Oh my gosh!
You scan the creds.
chaotic
There's
person.
19 creds on that card.
Man, that's not very much. Darn civilians.
Right.
No paying jobs. The
Broke
government
bastards.
sucks.
Man,
I
you
kinda
just
look
took
at her.
Disney's research money.
Yeah. I kind of look at her and say, "So, do you surrender?"
Are you giving me like an intimidation check or a persuasion check or
No, I'm just
it-
asking real quick.
like
I just want to know what your intent is. Because, and I reach out my hand and you see like a ripple in space and it goes around one of the balls. Because I can absolutely take one of these and shatter it against your body right now. And I wonder what's going to happen when I see the pretty fireworks go off.
she says,
That's intimidation with advantage. Say.
yeah.
Because I wonder
definitely
how many
intimidation.
explosions are going in there.
That's definitely intimidation. Give me an intimidation.
It's only
check.
because I thought about it. At first I was going to ask for intent, but I realized it'd be a lot easier just to yell at her. It's a 20.
She
Unless
says
I have advantage.
in a big mechanical voice, she says, "She'll die if I don't kill you first."
So, you're not surrendering.
She tries to blast a missile and it smashes into the force field.
I'm asking politely for once. Ask these guys. I don't do that.
Everyone give me a perception check.
I really don't want to have to blow all this up and be like, oh shit, we killed her, guys. Wonder why
18.
that happened.
10.
10.
Do I need to roll perception?
Yes, you are
19.
everybody, aren't you?
23. Have a good close-up view,
Another
apparently.
10 from Ian.
So
Oh, 19.
18,
Oh.
19, and 23?
23.
Is that right?
I rolled a 10.
Oh,
I
okay.
got
So
5.
it's Ian and okay. So as you guys are looking on, and she's flailing wildly, releasing laser blasts into the force field and missiles smashing into this kinetic field that Stella has created around her. You can see just slightly into her goggles, and you can see that inside the goggles, it's partially filled with tears as she continues to slam about and release missiles.
Well, I guess because she's attacking, air quotes, I could try and tormenting agony her again and make her pass out or something.
Does that put her to sleep?
It incapacitates her. So I guess it used to knock her unconscious, I thought. Or knock people unconscious. But
What's
maybe
it
I'm
called?
wrong. Tormenting agony. They get to redo the saves over and over again, but let me look again here.
Yeah, that's just incapacitated. That
Okay.
means she's either trembling from fear and can't act or something like that. It's not the same as
Gotcha.
unconscious.
Yeah. So that doesn't quite do what I would hope it to do. But it might make her stop moving.
7.
Oh.
And as she's flailing back and right, lights are flashing from her cockpit, and her body just starts quivering. She wraps her hands around herself and starts just holding herself, screaming in fear. And she's, no, don't take her away. How could you do such a thing? My girl, my baby, no. Why did you do that? And she just starts bawling. Whatever she's seeing is tormenting her.
Well,
Considering how many lives she's ended just today alone, she has no sympathy from me.
Damn.
I'm just saying, I want her out of the cockpit. That's all I want.
Well, right now the barrier's in the way, but she's
Well, I can
she's
go into the barrier. I just won't be able to come back out of the barrier, right?
no, I don't know that it works that way.
Oh, it was inverted, so...
Yeah, it's inverted.
So stuff can go in but not come out.
That's how I read it. I don't.
Yeah, I would say that's probably fine, I guess.
Yeah, because it's inverted. So preventing the creature's specified type from leaving the cylinder and protecting targets outside it. So yeah, I can walk in, but I won't be
Okay.
able to walk back out.
Okay.
So I'm gonna walk in. I'm gonna try and open this damn thing.
Give me a strength check.
Athletics?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's my athletics here real quick? Pretty good.
I just
Let's see.
realized the activation time for that.
So it's a reaction?
No, never mind. I thought it was wrong, but it's not. Give me your what's your athletics check?
It's an 18. All
right,
Well,
so-
no, Bardic Inspiration. Hold on. 22.
All right,
rip
so
this
you
damn
I
thing
keep
open.
calling it Bardic Inspiration, but that's not what it is.
I know.
I gotta go.
Yes, but no.
All right, so you climb up onto the shell of this thing. You get your hands on it, and you start pulling and pulling. It's really hard to get a hold of this little cockpit. It's rounded on the edges, and you start pulling and it opens almost and pulls tight back in. You're not quite strong enough.
Can I use telekinetic push and pull as a boost?
Oh, son of a bitch, dude.
If I almost opened it this way, I'm
Go
gonna
ahead
use
and
it.
get. We'll give you that roll with advantage. So roll a d20 again.
I got 3 more on it, so 25.
All right, so you get a hold of it and you start pulling tightly, and as you
25.
can't quite get it, you reach out with your mind and you grab onto it with an invisible hand. So there's 3 hands, 2 visible, 1 invisible, pulling on it, and it lets go with a rear, rear, rear. All the alarms are flashing. You can see an error in the back for canopy open while activated or something, and you pull it without, and it tilts open, and she's there slumped, laying, holding on to herself, just crying and begging for someone to let her go, to take care of her baby, to
She all
let
like
Emilise
strapped in
live.
and whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay, I unstrap her and I'm gonna take her out.
All right.
Well, the thing.
Oh,
I think that's a
I
lot
can't
for your
leave
turn.
the-
So I'm
Yeah, I guess
gonna
that's
I'm
fair.
gonna move on
Yeah.
to the next person, which
I
is
gotta.
her turn. I think.
Ah, shit. Well, I'll redo the wisdom save.
Ah, crap.
Please fail.
So,
She
She's
failed.
still, yeah, I got a 1. She's screaming, I want my baby, I want my baby, Emilise. And, you know, she's just teary-eyed and all that stuff as you've got her slunked over your shoulder.
Just like, it's okay. We're gonna get you out of here.
The lights and everything inside the cockpit are just flashing around. What are you doing there, White Dragon?
You want to take her off my hands?
first off, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Because
should've
he's
done
hurt
that
like hell.
I'm at 1 HP.
So you pop open a stim pack and stab it in your leg. And
He's
send
doing
in
some
a-
hand signs real quick.
Sending some.
breathing exercises.
Yeah, he does some cardio in place real quick. All right.
All right.
3d8. We get healed.
All right.
The energy,
5, 11.
the stim pack rushes through your body. It makes you feel great. Start recovering. You can breathe normally. The aches and broken, burned flesh, the scorched flesh begins to stitch itself up. The searing pain becomes more of a dull ache from the explosions you took right to the face.
I'm up to 14 health now at least. So.
Okay, that's your action. What else you got?
Move up and use either fast hands or cutting action to drag her out of the mech.
Well, he's already carrying her, so
Do you want her real quick?
you can hand her over.
Yeah.
So
We're kind of stuck in this barrier, I guess.
yeah,
You are stuck. Well, I guess she's stuck in the barrier then, actually.
yeah, she can't leave until the barrier comes down. So,
Well, that also means now I'm stuck in the barrier.
I'm not.
so what? Anything you're gonna do?
Oh.
All right, Chimera.
I just kind of just yoinked her out of her thing.
Pretty much.
There's a big
I'm
giant
gonna-
kinetic barrier in between.
Us.
Yeah.
I revert form, and I call out to Commissioner Jordan. We need people over at that facility now.
Oh. She says, repeat that. Are you talking about the one with the young child?
Yes.
All right, I'll send somebody over right away.
Also, target neutralized. This is Ravis Richter over here. Target is neutralized. She is currently screaming, and I don't know how to handle this situation.
How long does that last? Basically, like until
minute.
she fails, until she succeeds.
A minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, a minute or until she succeeds.
So you guys, Jordan says, "I'm on it, Chimera," and she puts her hand up to her head and gives a command to send over whoever she can find. What is Stella up to? How is Stella handling this?
I just ripped open the cockpit. It's a good time.
Yeah, I think she was surveying just to make sure that this new tech was working properly, and it seems to be working great. Like the Hex from WandaVision.
There's like
That's the
knocking on
first thing I
kinetic
thought
barrier.
of.
Yeah.
Wait.
Boom.
Yeah, with this situation finished, like, should we move on to the facility as well?
I would say you deactivate the suit first.
Yeah, I kind of don't want. It's kind of making all these beeps and noises. I don't know what that does. I don't want to press the wrong button.
And those
You know what?
explosives are
That's
just
fair.
hovering there, like
Yeah,
it's-
one of them's
the wind
one
comes
of them's
in.
sparking, and I'm
The
kind of a
wind
little
comes
worried
in,
here.
bumps them together, they might explode. Do you want to try to deal with that, Stella?
I probably should. I am very hesitant though, like to enter the force field, because we're stuck there if the DRT arrives.
Yeah, we
just
can't
turn it
really
off.
deactivate this, can we?
Yeah.
But oh no, yeah, we're fucking stuck for an hour. All right. So please
You just turn
deactivate
off the
this.
force field. I'm just saying.
Maybe you need to develop a way to turn it off.
Yeah, I know, right?
It didn't occur to me that there's no
No off switch.
off switch.
At least according to the rules.
Could
Yeah.
you just say you end it? That's usually how it goes in regular D&D, right?
Well,
Not Magic Circle. If this is ripped exactly for Magic Circle, then
I think
If
it
it was
is.
concentration, that would be the case.
well,
there
let
is
me
no
That's
go.
not a
concentration.
concentration.
Let me check the. No, it's very close to as written, based on the SRD. So
well, if there's concentration, you can punch yourself and maybe you'll stop.
It's not concentration.
I know
though.
it's not concentration.
Yeah.
no,
You end
it's
concentration but on your own anyway, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
yeah. Usually usually when you can end a spell, it says so, right?
Yeah.
I can
like
think.
my aura.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say it's stuck for an hour. With
That's what I was
that,
gonna say. Like, if there was no roof, I could fly into it, from over top. But we decided earlier
We
that there was a roof
established that
on
there
it.
is in fact a roof, which also makes sense because how are you supposed to trap Celestials if they
They can just fly up out of it.
Yeah, kind of makes sense.
What foolish mortal trickery is this? There's a no ceiling.
So upon further thought on that, it does make sense.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a role play opportunity, I think, because she's gonna snap out of this.
You will restrain her, right?
I'm gonna like
Words.
I got to tie her. I don't got anything really. I have a grav ring, which doesn't do anything. I have a grav hook, so I can kind of like keep her hooked to the ground if I can find a way to fasten it on her.
I would say with the grav hook, you could probably improvise some sort of like shackles or something.
You look over and you see Chimera holding a pair of super magnet cuffs.
Hey, I'll throw those over real quick before
You
she
sort of-
steps out of this.
He's just like swinging them on his finger. Hey, you want these? Do you chuck them to him?
Use these.
Yes.
So he flicks them over. They go right through the barrier.
I kind of just like grab her while she's doing this. I'm like, no, hands behind you, please. Yes,
You
please.
put it on.
Thank you. And
And after a minute, she kind of shakes out of it, and she says, "He's gonna kill her. He's gonna kill her. I failed."
hey, I kind of pat her on the shoulders. Hey, we're okay. We're stuck in a barrier currently, but we're okay.
I failed.
Well, okay,
He's
but
gonna-
who did this?
And just as you say that, a giant hologram projects off of the giant robot, and all you see
Deactivated this.
is the upper torso of a giant man shark guy. He's got massive, giant fin on his back of his head. He's got big, burly muscles, and you hear her say, "Oh no, the Codfather." But
Godfather.
My hand just does one of these like he couldn't have given himself a better name.
she says,
How does he have disciples?
He goes,
Godfather. Writing
I
that.
see. How is it you're going to pay back the loan I gave you if you continue to fail? She starts freaking out. She's like, I can still do it. It doesn't appear to be the case. You had one job. Repay your debt. Your daughter would be safe. And I would have a new pawn added to my school. A new fish added to my school. But you floundered around too much.
Oh my.
I can't get through this. She says,
You're looking at Steve's comments, aren't you?
of course. No, I also planned this out ahead of time for what I wanted to say. Because
You're
you know
not
me,
helping, Ian.
I'm funny, but don't get. I know you guys see what I'm doing, but that's just how it works. So he goes, Lila, you have failed. How is it you will make this up to me? You have been captured. It seems like my business is in jeopardy. So either you find a way to escape in the next few moments, or our deal falls through and I accept my losses, and so will you. You and your daughter will then just have to sleep with the fishes. And so this is your opportunity to interact either way. She starts screaming. She's reaching out to the hologram, trying to beg him to, no, please, I've done everything that you've asked. You said you would cure her. You said you would save her.
Far away's the warehouse?
What's that?
Far away's the warehouse?
Probably a couple hours, I think is what I decided on the last time.
Not enough time.
Go.
I need to take a breather for about 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes, guys.
So what? Yeah. So I need to know how your characters are reacting to this at the moment.
Go, where are you?
What's that?
What'd he say?
I didn't hear what he
What'd you
said.
say?
Go, where are you?
I still can't hear you.
I don't know what the first word is.
Neither do I.
Porco. Porco.
Porco.
Porco.
Where are you?
Oh, are you trying
How
to call
cute.
him?
Yes.
His car does not fly; it hovers.
I
And
don't know, but if we get the rush, I mean,
So
something.
so you open up your hologram and reach out to Porker, or yeah, was that what it was? Peter Porker?
Porker.
I don't Porker.
Porker.
And he goes, it rings and you hear a noise that almost sounds like a pig squealing. Yep. Porco Skyline.
need you to pick me up and break a few traffic laws.
Pick me up.
You paying double?
Yep.
All right, I'm on the way. Just give me the coordinates on your hologram. And with that, he says, "I'll be there in 5 minutes," which isn't gonna help some of you that are stuck inside this barrier.
Not gonna help.
Just
Not gonna
me.
help the entrants.
So with this, the giant fish man says, "You know, it was a great opportunity to meet you all. I'm big fans of your work. I love what you did with that warehouse. I've been trying to get rid of those punks for years, and you letting them blow up, perfect."
Oh wait, what is he referring to me in White Dragon? Oh yeah,
Yes.
that was a yeah, bit of a happenstance.
Yeah.
Can't win them all.
He says, "If you're ever interested in joining the business, I pay very well. Isn't that right, Lila?" She's begging and pleading, tears in her eyes. But now that you've been caught, you've been hooked, well, it looks like you're going to end up belly up.
What is it you're looking for?
Well, I certainly could use more.
Is it all just for money?
Money makes the world turn, don't you know?
But money for what? What's the end game? What's the end goal?
Well,
Take over Cobalt City?
do you think that I'm some cartoon character who would just spiel out my entire evil plan for you? Some comic
you're
book
the
villain
You're a
arrogant-
hologram right
Kinda.
now, so.
says, "I am not so foolish."
Yeah, well, one can hope, right?
You better believe it. And with that, the thing bleeps out. And that's where we're going to end it. You guys have officially met your nemesis.
You missed the double pun there, Justin. You could have said officially.
That's what I thought he said.
Oh my god! You
thought he
officially
said
met
it.
your nemesis. Oh god, I love this game. I really do.
I cannot believe I had survived so much damage. I have
Yeah.
11 HP, and I'm just like, holy shit, that
Yep.
resistance fire? Holy fuck, that was a good choice.
All right, so it sounds like our heroes will be heading. Well, some of them will be heading
I'm kinda
to the warehouse to try to rescue this young girl, while several of you are stuck.
Well,
So-
several just being me.
Yeah. Well, did White Dragon not walk in there?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
He
that's
just-
just you.
I
Probably
had a
won't look at me
wonderful
anyway.
chat with Lila Ennerin.
Steve says, audience awarded inspiration nomination. The Overseer for awesome adaptation of Magic Missile and Absorb Elements. Points for added pun fest. Thank you. So I do want to say thank you to everyone that joined us. Before we close out today, why don't we each say who we're playing and what you liked about the episode today? Whether it's mechanics that you got, or the combat, or the story, a character, something along that lines. How about we start with let's start with Matt today.
Hello, my name is Matthew, and I play Chimera, the shapeshifter spy. I enjoyed tonight's session, although I thought that this was going to be our last session for this
Me too.
playtest. Okay.
Apparently it's
even
not.
after okay. I was hoping that we would have more time to try and finish this.
Well, there you go.
Well, it was 10:30 this time.
Right.
It's never
right.
long, and I felt like we could run a 6-hour session and you still wouldn't be happy.
You're probably right.
Well,
It's a little
I didn't get
longer.
to do much other than stop a giant robot and her explosive drones from.
Oh, yeah,
Was that
that's
all?
it, right? Oh, I just stopped him from blowing us all to hell. That's fine. That's not a big deal. I did expect it to go longer than that, but I wasn't counting on that power, so lessons learned. And I think that's because it was ruled poorly on my part, so. All right.
Let's hope to read the fine print.
Yeah, since he has nothing, do you have anything else? No? Okay. Austin.
Hey, Austin played Demon Cloak, everyone's favorite run-in knucklehead.
Bastard.
I've first time using Tormenting Agony. Worked the second time, not the first time. And then I had to pry a bitch out of her fucking cockpit. It worked. Who would have guessed?
Yeah, I put that DC high. I was like, oh, you ain't gonna get it. But then you like had the stupid
can
Bardic
pull
Inspiration
extra hard.
stuff. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
bastard.
I could have action surged, I guess, too, but
Yeah, that's how it goes.
you know. I had a +8 to athletics, just as an FYI. There's a reason why I really just went for it.
Yeah.
I rolled
Nice.
a 10 originally.
Nice.
That was definitely my favorite part, or just trying to like yoink one of the fucking exploding orbs into the thing, which unfortunately I didn't get to do, but I also didn't want to kill her, so.
That's funny.
So now I'm having a chat with her.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part.
Those things have they're henchmen, so basically takes two shots to bring them down.
That makes sense.
Seth.
Hi, I'm Seth. I played Elwyn Ward, Stella Nova, the genius with an exosuit. There were a lot of really great moments in this session. So glad I guess we get a season finale part 2 coming here. But I really enjoyed kind of just the humanization of these issues and just the kind of social interaction. I thought the scene in the what is it, the Blue Tapper was I thought that was really charming. And then the follow up of we're trying to figure it all out, and I think we pulled some of the pieces together, and we just had to figure out the rest through happenstance at the end. So yeah.
All right, Ian.
I think we can all figure out what my one big moment was when I just
Demolished
unloaded
it.
on the mech.
Yeah, it's just like I got one turn and I'm gonna fuck this thing up.
Yeah, he used his action surge too, which did a lot. I mean, that's a lot.
Combined with
Yeah.
Hunter's Mark.
Hunter's Mark's powerful. That requires concentration though, doesn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately, pretty much every power I picked requires concentration.
Yeah.
Except
Feel
shield.
that?
Except shield.
Sub shield.
Alrighty, I think that'll do it. I did want to take a moment to mention that we do have a going live date for our Kickstarter. If the wife wants to message it to me really quick so I remember. June 29th, our Kickstarter for Capes and Crooks will be going live. I'm super, super excited. There's obviously still a lot of work to do to make it better. Make it more. But I'm super, super excited, and I appreciate everyone that's really helped bring it to life. Y'all are vicious.
No more pots.
I'm sorry, I'm hooked. I can't help it. Anyways, so that'll be it for our Capes and Crooks episode 8, I think. I did actually plan to have this be the big final boss battle. I did not count on complete self-containment. So hey, it would have been. It's not my fault they got powers that just say F you. So I thought it was very cool, a lot of fun, and I want to thank everyone that's joined and watched us tonight. If you enjoy the show, please consider joining us this Sunday. We will be talking. We will be at DungeonCon online, so please come and see us. We'll be at their on their Twitch or our YouTube, and we'll be talking about all the different planes of existence in D&D. That is based on Magic the Gathering. There's lots of cool resources, so we're gonna go planeswalking this Sunday. So I'm super excited for that. I got to get these guys over to my house so we can autograph some memorable monster books. I want to thank all of our backers that supported that. That was really exciting. We just got all those sent out to our backers, so they started receiving those. It's been a good week. So with that, I think we'll close out. I want to give one last shout out to thank all of our patrons who support our show and all our content. Your constant support, whether you're a patron, whether you're a listener who picks up one of our products, or just a follower, we are like so close to 8,000 Facebook followers. So make sure to follow us there. So all right, everyone, we'll see you later. Have a good one.
Adios.
Bye, guys.